Paper's $100.
I'm honestly really excited for this.
And welcome to Midwest Finishers 20. We're about to get started here. We will be having a men's pro 155-pound division and a bunch of super fights for you guys today. If you've never joined us before, Midwest Finishers is an EBI-style tournament, all the super fights, and the brackets will be under EBI overtime rules. We are sub-only in regulation. We have one of the highest finishing rates of any tournament you'll see, so expect tons of submissions, ton of high energy, and we're about to get our day under the way. We're going to have some super fights before we jump into our men's bracket.
So our first match, we're going to have Lex Garcia out of 10th Planet Lombard going up against Nash Smith from Veneration.
This is, I believe, a kids match or teens match.
Our first match, Nash Smith versus Lex Garcia.
By the way, I'm Jeff Serafin on the mic with Blake Classman joining me. Hopefully we don't say anything dumb. So,
We just talk about good jiu-jitsu because,
Yeah.
I mean, this makes it easy to commentate. You know, you see finishes left and right.
Yeah.
It makes it for exciting day of jiu-jitsu.
So Lex is at 10th Planet Lombard, our home gym. Nash from Veneration up in Milwaukee, two great gyms. This is a rare kids match on the Midwest Finishers cards. Seeing a nice little arm drag attempt from Nash, right into a head and arm attack from Lex.
Good composure there. Nice pressure here. Seems to be pretty comfortable with the guillotine getting wrapped up here. Just continuing to drive forward, getting to side control here. And now he might be in danger of a little bit of Von Flue choke action here if he doesn't let go of that neck.
Kimura attack coming from Nash. Oh, he's got the Kimura locked.
That's tight. That's tight. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, team flexibility right there. I think saved him. Fun scrub. We might have a little injury.
Yeah, arm might be a little injured off of that. And so really, really tight Kimura, and you know, with some of these kids too, they have crazy shoulder and elbow flexibility.
Hyper flexibility sometimes can be an asset, but it can always lead to some danger in those exchanges. We're hoping Lex is okay.
Yeah, hoping Lex is all right. That you never like to see injuries, let alone with the kids matches. So I didn't physically hear any pops or anything of that nature, but obviously, right?
It looked like he was out of the Kimura by the time.
Yeah, well, it looked like he was trying to use the Kimura to kind of sweep him over. You know, like maybe to go to a Kimura trap or some sort of that nature, and that motion right there might have done the damage.
I know. When I was a teenager, I dislocated my shoulder, and it was a similar situation where I had to get caught in something, thought I could get out, and then all of a sudden my shoulder was no longer in place.
Same thing. I kept having terrible shoulder dislocations. I had shoulder surgery at 19 years old, you know, from all the years of wrestling and all that. It looks like Lex still down here, so we're hoping he's okay.
I think it's safe to say that I don't think this one's going to restart. I think Nash is going to get the victory.
Yeah, no, this is likely.
They're getting him up though. Let's hopefully he's just got a little shoulder separation or a little shoulder up. The crowd's giving him a hand. Let's give some well wishes to Lex and. I think they're going to get some ice on him.
Yeah, he's getting carried off the mat here. Looks like he should be okay.
We'll try to give you an update as we hear it. Good performance for Nash, though. He had a really nice submission attempt and led to the end, so hopefully Lex will be good, but great seeing Nash get the W. Our next matchup will be Dylan Burdett against Elliot Torres. Dylan from Gracie Humaita and Elliot from, again, 10th Planet Lombard, our home gym.
This also looks like more of a teens match here.
These guys could be 15 or could be 25.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to. If I were to guess, maybe 16, right?
I'm guessing we're gonna see some high octane energy in this match.
Yeah.
Too quick.
Yeah, we'll see.
You guys are ready to go before we even announced them.
Yeah, both of them came up to the table. They're like, all right, what do we got to do?
While we're waiting for this match to start, we are going to be having a submission of the night bonus, $100 to our submission of the night, provided by Hand Wraps. We'll be announcing that later in the broadcast. So hopefully we see some great submissions. We're going to have a hard choice picking it. Usually we do. Over the years we've seen flying submissions, twisters, pretty much anything you can imagine, buggy chokes. So
yeah, lots of.
Hopefully find something cool today.
Dylan Burdett versus Elliot Torres.
Okay, and now the tension is over and they can get right to it.
Dylan is in the black and yellow. Elliot is in the green and white.
Here they go.
Dylan sits right away.
So Dylan looking to maybe sit in and get shin to shin here, playing from a seated guard position here.
Very classic no-gi, standing versus seated.
Going for a front headlock, using it to try to pass here.
Right away, looking for Darce.
Locking up the Darce. Darce is in. Darce is in.
Dylan's doing a good job keeping his back flat. Dylan wants to get him on his side.
Yeah, and we got it. I mean, while this looks like a good sub attempt, he could burn his arms out if he doesn't get it.
Yeah, this early in a match.
It looks pretty tight, though.
Yeah, this early in a match, he's dry, nothing to really step out of.
And Dylan did a good job with his right arm, stopping him from stepping over to secure the deal here.
I think Elliot wants to elongate that right arm a little bit deeper to grab his bicep a little deeper. I think he can finish it. But it does look like he's doing a good job not trying to over squeeze and just use the control. Maybe wear Dylan out before he tries to really finish.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell from where we're at how tight it is. I mean, it looks like he's putting a ton of pressure on, but Dylan looking to seem like he's able to weather the storm.
Again, being back flat like he was able to survive that and get out of that position.
Yeah, really good composure and really good recovery there.
Yeah. That's the way you want to start a fight, within like 30 seconds, right? A deep sub attempt, good
Absolutely.
escape.
And Elliot is not showing any signs of slowing down whatsoever from that, as you predicted.
Yeah, and I think, one of the things we always say in these broadcasts is like when these guys have a super fight, they only have the one match, so they're putting it kind of all on the line. During the tournament, you obviously have to be a little bit more conservative with your energy levels, but one match setting, these guys are just going to go, go, go.
Absolutely. And that's what makes for a fun match for the super fights here. He's going for the collar tie here. He's really thinking about jumping for that triangle, it looked like.
I'm interested to see what Dylan's game plan from the bottom is. He's been playing in his open guard, but he hasn't really got any of his connections going, so it's hard to see. Is he trying to get into the legs? Is he trying to wrestle up? Is he trying to pull him down and connect? My guess is he's going to be trying to get underneath the legs, but he's not been able to get anywhere in close to controlling Elliot's legs. He's doing a good job keeping him away.
So what makes these sub-only events interesting is when they go to compete, at a lot of these local tournaments, they're not able to do things like heel hooks, reaping the knee, all these sort of advanced belt techniques. And so it'd be interesting to see if they choose to employ any kind of reaping techniques, any kind of heel hooking, Aoki locks, anything kind of fair game here.
Dylan looking to really try and get in and connected. I think, his definitely is looking like now he's trying to get in on the legs of Elliot. Elliot's doing a good job of not letting his lower body get connected and not overcommitting his arms where you got to worry about choi bars. And then jumps on the neck again.
Yeah, jumping on that neck.
So this is becoming the classic kind of wrestler top game, looking for head and arms, looking to jump through the guard against the guard player who wants to connect and get in on the legs and use that to attack or sweep up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Dylan just looks like he's trying to slow Elliot down, right? And trying to slow down the pace, and Elliot's just kind of frantically kind of going everywhere. And it's kind of hard to see kind of what Dylan, like what his game plan is here. It looks like he's trying to sit into that left leg. It looked like he was trying to underhook, scoop in, and elevate. Yeah, maybe some sort of K-guard action. But Elliot doing a good job keeping his weight back, keeping his weight, good frames with his hands.
One of the things like I always tell my students who play that leg lock heavy game is you really have to be attacking the upper body as well. If you're focusing too much on the legs and you're letting, like you can see Elliot doing a good job posting with his arms, but Dylan's not attacking like the Choi bar Kimura arm drag kind of dilemma. So he's just able to shut down the legs. When you attack those side to side and up and down, it becomes a much harder thing for the top player to defend. And Elliot with beautiful timing on the jumping pass, and again looking for his darce. Dylan did a good job getting his head back free and getting back to a half. Like for Dylan here, if he's wanting to get that K-guard on Elliot's left leg, I would really be attacking the arm drag on his right arm, really threatening that, really trying to maybe dig inside. That would really make Elliot have to changing that arm position. I think it would help him a lot in that. Because again, every time he goes for that leg, Elliot's able just to base away. He's not really threatened about his right arm at all. That arm drag is going to be key to force that wrestle up and try to threaten that back take.
And for those of you that aren't as familiar with the rule set, this does go to EBI overtime, which will consist of 3 overtime periods where each competitor will get a chance to either choose starting from the back, choose starting from an armbar spiderweb position, and whoever gets either the faster submission or faster escape time wins. And so in this regulation period, kind of makes energy management kind of a conversation where it's like, okay, how much energy do I want to expend? Do I want to overcommit things and risk being tired in the overtime period? Some of these guys are very well versed in the overtime period, so right now Dylan could just be trying to stay safe, trying to ride things out to get to the overtime, and then we might just see him explode during those times as well. So it's interesting to see what kind of strategies go into this, and Dylan finding himself here in the closed guard, starting to isolate an arm.
So this is the first big connection Dylan's had where he now has a full guard. We can play a variety of attacks, arms, legs, sweeps. We'll see if he can keep Elliot here or what he's looking for. Looking for a little arm crush, reverse arm bar. Elliot's got to watch that arm coming across the center line. When that happens, you're worrying about back takes. You're worried about arm drags. You're worrying about belly down arm bars. But he gets a good job getting back to square, back to center.
Dylan seems to be pretty comfortable here, and I think this is the first close guard we saw this match, right? And so Dylan looks to be very comfortable here, but Elliot doing a good job keeping his hands on the chest, not letting his hands go onto the mat, keeping good posts against him. I'd like to see Elliot start to kind of posture up, maybe start to stand up and start working out of the guard here, but much easier said than done.
I actually think Yeah, as Elliot's starting to call him out, I think that's what Dylan wants. It's since he was showing K-guard earlier, one of the best times to enter your K-guard is when your opponent is trying to stand open at closed. You can kind of drop off and get those posted legs. Staying low and tight is a good idea if you're Elliot and you think your opponent's trying to get into the legs. If you stay on your knees here and he keeps his guard closed, it's going to be hard. And that's what we're talking about. He needs to attack the arms as well. And obviously he's trying to, but he really needs to, I think, to start going hard for arm drags. He's doing a little bit more, a better job from here as he's trying to get 2-on-1 on Elliot's right arm. Elliot looks like he may actually start trying to come to his feet this time.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, but, you know, to your point, he has shown quite a bit of dexterity with the leg entanglements or trying to elevate to legs. But Elliot's shown some good awareness. He was able to kind of scramble out a lot of those entanglements, pull his legs out at the right time, kind of scramble free. So I feel like if Elliot maybe can find a time to stand up, drive his hips in, and maybe try to scramble out of this, we can maybe get more to an open guard position.
The Dylan's corner is asking him to attack more up and down, forward and backwards, side to side, which again is, I think, a really good coaching advice. He needs to open it up a little bit and create multiple things for him to worry about. But that's the one nature of the closed guard is a really annoying position to pass and open. It's you're constantly under duress, but if the opponent is smart from the top, like Elliot, just work in the center, keep your head square, you can really neutralize sometime bottom players' advantage or bottom players' attacks, especially in a rule set where there is no stalling or there's no advantages. There's no real. Not that Elliot is stalling, he's actually pretty aggressively moving to try to get back to his posture, but Dylan's doing a good job keeping him there.
Man, Dylan kind of opening the guard now, putting the foot on the hip, trying to maybe climb a rubber guard. He climbs his guard a little bit higher, but
there's no angle there. That's the problem. Like to pull that rubber guard high guard game against somebody who's looks to be a little bit physically bigger than you. You're going to need more of an angle to really be able to keep Elliot there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So finally, we're back to that standing seated. We'll see if Dylan has a better chance of connecting, or Elliot's going to be able to
gets that shin to shin. Yeah, nice. And it almost looks like from the shin to shin position, he's looking to try to wrestle a lot more than maybe than enter legs.
It has another connection to the neck, this one, but Dylan's able to pull back out.
Now we finally get into the leg here, looking for that knee bar. He's found his moment.
And he has a heel hook.
The tap. First time heel hook. Beautiful.
First time Dylan gets the leg, he gets the submission. Very nice.
He revealed his card. He was going in for that leg. That's why he kept going for the underhook on that leg. Beautifully done.
And it looked like that was the game plan, and they took one bite, and that's all it took. Beautiful submission for Dylan, and I'm sure we'll see both these guys back on the show in the future. With that, we're going to be adding entering our men's 150-pound bracket, kind of our main event of the day. We have a stacked bracket for you, multiple Midwest Finishers champions, tons of veterans, teams from all over the country. We're going to be starting out with our former Midwest Finishers champion, Pedro Serrano from Ultra BJJ, going against Giovanni Rubio from Watkins Wrecking Crew. Pedro is a very, very talented competitor. Definitely one of the favorites of this bracket. And Giovanni coming from Watkins Wrecking Crew. They've had great showings as a team for Midwest Finishers. His teammate Layla Watkins will be fighting in our women's main event later today. She is a Midwest Finishers champ, so you know this team is always prepared for this rule set and for the no-gi sim-only brackets.
All right, we are underway with our 155-pound bracket.
Giovanni sits right away. Pedro's on top in the blue. Giovanni's in the red and black. Right away, Gio's on the legs.
Yeah, inverting through straight away here. Very comfortable in his guard here. Now we find ourselves in a double-seated position. And the interesting thing about 155 pounds, you could see a little man's game like this where both guys are on their butts, but you also get guys that are big enough to be strong and top player wrestlers. So you get a wide variety of skills when you look at the 155-pound division.
That's one of the more, I think in any grappling fan, this is one of the more enjoyable divisions to watch. You know, you get so many great athletes, such a fast pace. And again, our bracket today, you're going to see some real high-level talent that you're seeing all over the world.
He's in there looking to set up straight ankle here.
Almost looks like a Wojciech.
Yep. Giovanni inverting through, doing a good job defending there. Seems to be very, very flexible, very confident in his open guard here.
Giovanni, I believe, is coming off a win at no-gi pans at the blue belt division just last week. is a young competitor, but he already has a ton of experience.
And I'll make the comment again, right? You're competing at blue belt for no gi worlds, right? No reaping, no heel hooks, no toe holds, no knee bars. And we'll get to see what his arsenal looks like once we kind of get all those factors into play here, which is what Pedro is actually used to, right? He's used to these rule sets here. But he's setting up a tight straight ankle lock here from the 50-50.
Looks a side straight foot. Gio, though, is again coming from Watkins Wrecking Crew, the home of Jet Thompson and Layla Watkins. He is very familiar with the more advanced kind of non-IBJJF leg game. I can guarantee you that. And he did not look panicked at all in these like exchanges. Again, both guys are playing with fire a little bit when you're getting these deep in the leg locks when you're this dry and you're this fresh.
Absolutely.
But again, at this weight, you'll see a lot of flexibility in the ankles that you might not see at the 185 or 205 pound division.
Choi bar.
Giovanni decides to come on top.
This is a very technical set of exchanges, yeah.
Start the bracket.
Absolutely. I mean, Giovanni looks a little small for the weight class, right? But like his movement, right? I mean, very elite. Both these guys seem like they have very elite grappling and knowledge of leg locks.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty tight.
Nice.
He's got that shadow hook. He's got the foot.
He's coming over the top with that short, straight foot like they're calling it. I believe the European guys call it the trend lock.
That's tight. That's
high straight foot lock, and Pedro just slips right out, but it looked like that had a real tight bite on his foot.
Yeah, we're lucky that foot did not come with him there, because that was...
This is one of those matches, too, where, these guys might eat a pop early, and you got 3 more matches after this.
Absolutely.
So, if you win and you take some abuse on your legs, it may come back to haunt you later in the day. And again, this is not a one and done like our first 2 matches. To win this bracket, you have 4 tough fights. I mean, this is a real tough one to start for either guy.
And Pedro opting to come on top and gets right into a head and arm here, and this is a very compromising position for Giovanni. No matter how good and flexible your guard is, when you get your head and shoulder pinned like this, just fundamental 101 jiu-jitsu, it is very difficult no matter what kind of guard.
Especially by a black belt like Pedro.
Absolutely.
And I honestly think, he played the legs. He's obviously very good there and very comfortable there. But when you were having kind of the back and forth game, this may be the smarter strategy. Especially because, again, as we get later in the match towards overtime, these are positions you will wear opponents out with.
Absolutely.
You do not want to be under here for 5 minutes, even if you don't get passed or submitted. This is going to make you uncomfortable and tired and hard to breathe.
You could hear from the commentary booth the big breaths coming from Giovanni.
Maybe he's partially smothered. He may have like his mouth covered by the shoulder, and
he's
just
absolutely
trying to force it free. And again, that will definitely wear you out as the matches go on.
And right here, just day one fundamental jiu-jitsu being implemented right here. Classic head and arm, driving the knee through to the 3/4 mount.
Little deep half action from Gio. He's got the arm 100. It can create that scramble and escape, but it also can get your arms caught and can put you in a very compromised position.
Yeah, this could be a little bit challenging. Sometimes with Giovanni's right arm, if you were to bring it under the right leg, you could dive yourself a little bit deeper, but you do expose your back in the process. And this is just very tough because Pedro's crossface is just causing Giovanni's face to look to the left, right? It's very hard for him to turn in, get under him, forward shrimp when your shoulder and your head is being pinned with, elite black belt pressure like this.
Yeah. This is a position that looks like a pass is going to happen. It's just a matter of how long Gio can hold, or does he want to scramble early to try to conserve some space before it gets too deep. Good job reconnecting to the foot from Giovanni on the bottom. Pedro almost pulled all the way out. Pedro now really trying to isolate that arm and get in the head and arm fully locked in, but it's...
Giovanni doing a little muffle from the bottom there.
They're trying to return that not being able to breathe favor.
And for those of you that are watching, when we say muffle, that means hand over the mouth, which in some tournaments is illegal, but in this tournament, right, especially once you start to get real tired and you put your hand over someone's mouth, it can cause a ton of anxiety. And Giovanni finding himself in the top position here, looking to pass Pedro's guard.
Yeah, Pedro decided to go for more of a knee cut style and gave Gio the space. I think it was a good option. He wasn't really getting that full pass without giving a little space. And I think he definitely wore Gio out a little bit, so that was probably going to help him. And now he's back to the passing. And this is something I always tell students, very rarely at a high level are you going to pass on that first attempt. You pass, you keep pressure, they escape just like this, and then you re-enter it the same way with a little bit more pressure and they're a little bit more tired. This is more likely that Pedro's actually going to get a pass because he now has done that early work, and right there he gets the pass. Just as I said, all that work from the beginning really paid off here, and now the head and arm is getting isolated now that the full mount is achieved. Look for a smother, arm triangle, arm bar kind of setup from Pedro here.
Yeah,
and
while-
in transition through
While
those attacks.
Giovanni's out of that, he's using a ton of energy to bridge and explode. And, even if Pedro doesn't get the submission here, he is cooking him for that overtime period, and this will definitely play a factor if this does go to overtime.
And with over 3 minutes left, Pedro definitely has time to find the submission, not just work for overtime. This could be a smother coming up. He has both the arm high. He's really looking to keep that pressure in.
And these have been big explosions from Giovanni. I mean, after you do 3 or 4 of those unsuccessfully, too, it takes a toll on your mental health of the match as well, because it's very defeating, giving everything you have to bridge, not only tiring, but mentally exhausting as well. You get one more bridge and then flatten back out.
He's doing a good job of trying to get on his side, not just staying flat, but he's not really getting anywhere. Pedro's position is so tight and so solid. The bridges are just allowing Pedro to work slightly higher up. Pedro for the mounted triangle setup.
Mounted triangle. This has been the deepest sub attempt so far. And Giovanni trying to rev through. It's kind of hard to wait. What's happening?
He has a left leg wrapped inside of the arm to try to pull him back down. It's a very interesting way to stop the triangle from happening. Again, it's going to be a hard position to breathe from and move from, but he may stifle the triangle attempt from here. Almost like a buggy choke type.
Yeah, he's creating a little bit of a wedge, but
the triangle. I don't know if he can hold this for 3 minutes.
Yeah,
this is going to be a lot of pressure on his head, neck, and hip.
And Pedro might fall back to his back here and finish it more traditionally as well. It just depends to how the scramble goes here. But if you're on top, stay on top. And it looks like he's just muffling the absolute heck out of him.
Now the leg has been let go of, and now he's going back to this. Buggy from the bottom mounted triangle. Pedro now closes the triangle.
Triangle's
He's going to try to attack the arm and the head at the same time.
Ooh. And Pedro postured up there for a second.
Yeah, he's going to start pulling the head to try to put that pressure on Giovanni with the triangle controlled. He may muffle him. I think this is a real tough position now. He's looking at that angle.
This is terribly, terribly exhausting.
Yeah.
I mean, even if Giovanni does get the win somehow and moves on, I mean, this is about...
Now the triangle is locked from the bottom guard. He's rolled him. He's going to pull the head hard and try to readjust the angle. He goes reverse triangle.
Reverse triangle, which is the smart thing to do when the arm is tucked like this.
And he may switch again to finish back to the normal triangle.
Yeah.
He has 90 seconds to try to finish this.
Yeah,
he's going to Kimura. He may go backside to finish that triangle.
And this is a very tight triangle here with the reverse.
I have a feeling he may switch.
Oh, there it is. There's the switch, and that's going to be it right there. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to survive.
He's going to pull the head, and there it is. Beautiful transitions from Pedro Serrano. But a really, really nice effort from Giovanni against a really tough opponent. Great way to start the bracket.
Absolutely.
That was not an easy opening round matchup for Pedro. Really fun jiu-jitsu.
That's a barn burner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As we move on, we have 10th Planet Lombard Zone, Hashir Azim. He's often a ref on our Midwest Finishers card, going up against Zach Renz from Crossover BJJ.
So far, we are 3 for 3 on the day of submissions, so 100% submission rate so far, which is very typical of this tournament. Always exciting. Everyone's going for the kill.
Bashir will be coming out on the mat in the green and white. Zach will be in the red and black. Zach is a newcomer to Midwest Finishers.
And Hashir, had the pleasure of watching him compete and training with him. The interesting thing about Hashir is while he's so hard and technical, he's just very, very relaxed.
Yeah,
and before you know it, all of a sudden you're in a terrible, dangerous position.
Yeah, with Hashir, you're watching out for a really nice leg lock game. He has a great Mikey lock. He's been doing some A blocks recently. A very nice buggy choke game. Traditional 10th Planet guard. Very kind of diverse open guard techniques. As you see here, and getting good connection.
And he's hunting that K guard straight away. Zach doing a good job trying to stay on the outside here, trying to find ankle controls, not getting his weight under Hashir.
Now, one thing you'll notice from Hashir's open guard here, as opposed to what we saw earlier with Dylan, is he's really getting good upper body connections while he wants the legs. He's really forcing Zach to defend that 2-on-1, and he's looking for some Choi bar entries, and that's going to open up his path to the legs if Zach's not able to get to a kind of a safer, less connected spot. You really want to make sure that as the supine player or the seated guard player, you're threatening both up and down, left and right, so your opponent can't sell out in his passing.
As you can see, Hashir just in his element here. Also on his home mats as well, which also
Definitely helps.
makes him even more relaxed for sure.
Zach doing a good job. Like he clearly is identifying what Hashir wants, and he's doing a good job staying safe, breaking those connections.
Oh, we might see him starting to hunt the A block here. Looked like he was trying to invert for that reverse close guard.
We have a couple of A Montague's teammates from New Wave competing today. I'm sure we have a chance. We might see quite a few different A block entries from some different competitors. Hashir now in on the arm. He has a nice Kimura grip on the arm. He might use this for back take. He can use this to set up triangles and arm bars, or if there's an explosion out from Zach, that could be his entry to his legs.
Looks like Hashir gave up the arm to get closed, looking for K, backside 50-50.
This is where Hashir wants to be.
Yep, and now we're in the 50-50.
And there's the submission.
Yep.
Very nice transitions. And like we said, there's connecting to the upper body, making explode out, and they found his K-guard entry there for his leg lock. Very nice start to the day for Hashir.
I'm going to assume that Hashir used a little bit less energy than Pedro last match, so
Definitely.
nice, easy first round there for Hashir. Very well done.
And now we're moving on in our bracket. We have Julian Mello from 10th Planet Kansas City going up against Lucas Jones from Mat Factory. The Mat Factory guys, we've had a few of them on Midwest finishers. Some of the other Midwest finishing cards, always tough, always coming to fight, explosive, good wrestling. So expect that from Lucas. Anytime you know you have a 10th Planet competitor, you know they're going to be familiar with the EI rule set. So Julian and Lucas.
Mello versus Lucas Jones.
Lucas is shirtless. Julian is in the black and brown rash guard. Right away. Lucas looks in that wrestling stance. And not surprising. Julian decides to pull.
Julian looking to find a shin-to-shin entry here, trying to sit in. Looks like this is going to be a classic top player versus bottom player exchange. And again, so far we are 100% on submissions for the day, so let's see if we can continue that streak here.
Interesting kind of hip flop from Lucas. Julian circling that leg in front, almost like a fall three, but without the arm inside the knee.
Yeah, interesting position here. Lucas seems pretty comfortable here, just kind of riding the position.
Yeah, without that arm under the knee, there's no threat of like a calf slice. There's no threat of really the fall street, but it's a good way to hold the hip back, kind of keep him locked in.
It looked like he was kind of thinking false right there for a moment. Butterfly sweep,
Very nice
beautiful.
arm drag, the butterfly sweep from Julian. That was really, really slick.
Very Marcelo Garcia-esque there.
We'll see what Lucas looks like from his back. He clearly seemed to want to be the top player. And now that he gets put on his back, will he attack from here, or is he just going to try to explode and get out of the bottom position?
Looked like he was thinking Choi bar there for a moment.
Now Lucas kind of entering the legs.
Yeah, it looked like he thought about it and then kind of was like, maybe it might not be a great idea.
Now we're back to that standing seated with Lucas on top, Julian in the bottom again. If this match goes on for a while, we might see this position multiple times.
Diving Kimura attempt there.
Lucas jumps through. Julian comes up. Again, another kind of shallow leg entry. Now that's a nice side foot, kind of a steam lock. Lucas playing an inverted upside down guard. So both guys showing some variety, playing up and down, top and bottom, leg locks, diving submissions, arm drags. Footlock attempt from Julian on the roll through. It's funny, both guys have grabbed the other one's foot a few times, but neither have really committed to actually like getting into those footlocks. Almost like they're trying to see how the other guy's going to react before they want to commit to actually doing the leg lock. Another diving attempt from Lucas. Yeah. Now he gets a nice ability to stack past to force the turtle. Now he's on the front headlock. This can be a very dangerous spot if you get those arms separated. Now Luke's doing a good job of using that left knee to try to separate Julian's elbow. Just try to set up that Darce Anaconda arm and guillotine kind of dilemma there. Now he's got the knee on the back of the head, putting some pressure on Julian. But Julian is doing a good job. And as I say that, Lucas is using that
that's
arm
tight.
roll.
That's
a tight submission.
roll.
Now he's caught the arm. This is now a deep submission.
He's
Julian able to get his head and shoulder just free from that.
And looked tight, but he must have felt something that we couldn't see from here and decided to use it to get to the back here instead.
Now he's exposing the back.
Still sure we got a decent amount of time to work here as well.
Now he's got the back.
And we got
Lucas on the back, and now he's going for the body triangle.
back with a body triangle, but you know, if these guys have been preparing for this rule set, right, they should be pretty well versed on their back escapes. They should be, not to say that this is a great spot for Julian, but you know, coming from a 10 planet school as well, I'm sure his back escapes are pretty solid as well. So the competitor just asked how much time. 6 minutes remaining in the match. Lucas doing a good job with his left arm there.
We hear some heavy breathing at the commentary table. Again, I'm thinking that body triangle squeeze is pretty tight on Julian's waist.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is.
And if you've never been put in a body triangle with pressure like that, it can suck the life out of you. Especially with a longer opponent like Lucas, who has some long, strong legs to put pressure on.
Absolutely. And Lucas doing a good job here. He's got the body triangle on the top side. He's got his left arm on the bottom here, which makes it very, very difficult for Julian to get his back to the mat, which he desperately needs to do to get the escape here. Julian able to trap the leg on the body triangle here, but Lucas not seeming to really care all that much. He's got the body triangle still tight here.
Lucas trying to dig that, those arms across, very nice side to side attacking the arms.
And this is very, very physical.
Yeah, this is a great way to find the neck against an opponent who's covering up and defending well. Be a little physical, go across the face, go across the nose and mouth, and just go left, right, until they kind of open up.
And while this is definitely difficult for Julian, it's also pretty exhausting as the guy hunting the choke as well. You know, just trying to punch through, punch
Lucas
through.
is definitely not resting. He's attacking,
Absolutely.
putting pressure with his legs, really trying to attack the arms. He's not settling for the position.
Lucas doing a good job just keeping everything active here, just very, very active, keeping Julian's hands busy. He was trying to desperately turn his belly down to the mat to try to spin out, but the body triangle was proven to be too tight here.
Now Lucas
That's
gets
a
Julian
ton of pressure.
He's just cranking the head on it right there.
Yeah.
Now he has kind of a face chin lock. It's starting to get in. He's got it. He's got it on the chin. It looks like he's going to get
under
the
the chin. This
he's
is looking pretty tight. There's
there
the tap.
it is. Lucas Jones with the submission in regulation. Very nice performance. I'm excited to see him back in the second round. We will keep rolling on in this bracket. Our next matchup will be Keith Cornell out of Black Tie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu against David Garcia of 10th Planet Lombard. David is a many-time veteran of Midwest finishers, and pretty much all the Superfight series is here in the Midwest. He has to be one of the favorites in this bracket. A hometown guy and a really, really tough black belt. He's a tough match for anybody at 155 or 45. David is in all black. Keith is in the black and white with the purplish shorts. Keith looks like a big 155er.
Absolutely.
Because David's a good size 155er, and Keith looks pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. But David, very tough, very well-rounded grappler.
Yeah.
Good wrestling, good top game, savvy with the legs, quick on the bottom. Not a ton of weaknesses from him.
No.
Right now, got a classic collar tie situation here.
One of the things we comment on a lot is that, like, in this no points sub-only set, you don't see a ton of wrestling battles. A lot of times guys fill each other out for 30 seconds, then one guy just decides to sit. These two guys are looking like they're going to wrestle.
Absolutely.
And again, oftentimes, if you have two guys want to be on top, they're not wrestling for points. They're not wrestling because it's strategic to score. They're wrestling because they don't want to be on the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely.
If one guy, if they wrestle for a good extended period, sometimes when the other guy does pull or the takedown, you sometimes will see one of the opponents kind of break a little bit that they really wanted to be on top and now are on the bottom. So I'm interested to see how long our wrestling exchanges go.
And this is kind of what I was alluding to earlier. At the 155-pound weight class, you could see matches like this, or you could see guys like, Pedro Serrano, where you're, in a double-seated position, playing much more of a little man's game. But both of these guys clearly looking to wrestle and get on top. And as I say that, beautiful double leg there from David to get on top.
Right into the double. That was a very nice setup. And again, we'll see what Keith's guard looks like when he was wanting to wrestle and be on top. That does not mean he does not have an amazing guard, but we'll see what it can do against David's top pressure. David is very, very heavy for a 155er on the top position. He's a good job of
sitting straight into the saddle.
Yeah, sits into the leg.
Beautiful. Loses the knee line here, though.
Keith looks to get the knee line free, but his foot is still caught. He's in a kind of almost like a bear trap type position from the bottom. And now he goes
right to the
kind of double outside ashi, knee separator. One of my favorite techniques.
Yeah,
does not have a great angle with it, though. You would have that inside arm. In this case, his right arm in between the knee. With that out, it's not really going to be a chance to finish. But nice attempt. Have David away and had made him back up.
Yeah, David doing a great job punishing that, forcing a very hard leg drag there. And very close on the pass. Sitting to the K-guard, looking for backside 50-50. David savvy to it, pulls his leg out. Looking like we're trying to get an arm separation here.
Ooh, nice little attempt by Keith. His guard definitely looks dangerous. He was not going to wrestle only because he doesn't have a good guard game. His guard looks strong. Nice off balance, and David tries to use it to find the leg. He has a good bite in the leg, straight foot, and he gets it. Very nice transitional leg lock. Moving us ahead.
Beautiful straight ankle.
David Garcia, and we're moving on. Again, we will move right into our next match. Now, starting the next side of our bracket, we have Andrew DeGraff, a two-time Midwest Finishers champ that have to be on paper the favorite in this bracket from New Wave Jiu-Jitsu, going against Trent McGuffin, a black tie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Andrew is still just a teenager, even though he's a veteran many times over of Midwest Finishers, and he's competed against some of the best lightweight grapplers in the world, coming from one of the best teams and gyms in the world. Trent coming from black tie, a great gym in the Midwest. I'm sure he will be prepared, but again, on paper, he's definitely the underdog in this matchup. Andrew is in the black and green. Trent's in the black with the American flag raccoon on the back. Trent is a tall 155er.
Absolutely. It's been awesome to watch Andrew develop. I remember when he was first here, with 15-year-old kid here with his dad, whose dad's a great guy, always very supportive of him, and he seems to come from a very good family, and now one of the main training partners. I mean, Gordon Ryan was literally using him to prepare for his, WNO matches, and everyone has great things to say about him, and I mean, we've seen it ourselves since he was young. I mean, the kid's come so far, and it's definitely, one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to win the whole bracket. So with that being said, Andrew on his back here, looking to set up something from the guard here. Very savvy to the leg game.
Yeah, Andrew, kind of when we saw him first as a teen, as a kid, it seemed more like it was pretty much a leg lock only. He still has world-class leg locks, as you're about to see.
Yeah, and
but he has good
we
passing.
Might see an A-block setting up here.
Yeah, great back attacks.
Yep.
That classic kind of new wave balance of upper body attacking positional dominance.
Very nice here. Great
Andrew
dexterity.
Uses the K guard. Now he's going to come on top. And this is where I think a younger Andrew might have just stayed on his butt and continue to attack legs. But now the more complete Andrew is on top, trying to use heavy pressure passing. He has beautiful timing.
Beautiful
on that
passing.
He's blocking the hip and gets to a pass off to the north-south.
That was just clinical. I mean, you could just tell he's been drilling that kind of open passing. I mean, the way that they train at New Wave, they have such specific drilling. I mean, they're doing Toriandos every day, doing all the good, open guard passing drills, and you got to see it on display here. So Andrew finding himself with that left arm kind of isolated here.
Oh, look, almost got a little Kimura bite on the right arm of Trent. But north-south, he's going to look to set up that arm. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, Kimura's in. Is he going to step over for maybe some Tarika,
Arm
going
bar.
for a straight arm lock?
Armbar's tight. Trent's doing a good job fighting, trying to get that angle. It looks like his elbow line may be free here, and it is.
That was
Good
very, very
defense by
tight.
Trent.
Yeah, great defense there, and that was a great look, and going right to the double underpassing here.
This is a great passing position against a flexible, dangerous guard.
Andrew doing a good job, just kind of absorbed that and kind of moved with it, and now kind of inverting, hunting that sort of K guard, but you can't help but think when he's hunting that K guard, he's also thinking that reverse close guard, looking for A blocks.
Trent rolls through.
Yeah, rolling through. It looked like for his toe hold. Can't see. The ref's in the way now.
Now his leg is caught. This is a tough position. Trent does a good job of clearing it. Really nice submission defense and 2 deep attacks by Trent. He's showing he's a gamer, and he's not going to, just because he's fighting the number 1 seed, he is not going to back down. Now Trent decides to pull.
Some Delahiba action here.
See
And
if he-
just thinking maybe calf slicer there for a moment. That kind of shin to shin here. Side to side passing.
Yeah, Andrew's timing looks just so good there. But Trent again recovers. Now he gets that knee backed in.
And Andrew's game just looks, I mean, he's always been very talented, but his game just looks so refined right now. I mean, you can tell that he's been just putting so many hours into his training and drilling just religiously. I mean, his movements are so crisp.
Now gets to the half guard, clears that left leg and gets over the knee line. He's going to be heavy on those hips. He's not going to give Trent a lot of space or ability to move. Now uses the climb right to the mount.
Straight to the mount, decisively. 6 minutes left to work here. And even though he is only 155, we may see some chest pressure and some submission. I mean, we've seen one of the big metas right now is literally submitting people with your chest, just muffling their mouth with your upper body and just putting an immense amount of pressure
His teammate Big Dan is probably the best in the world at it. Big Dan is literally 2 Andrews though, so that does definitely helps.
Yeah, maybe 2.5.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm sure that the technical aspect, not just the 285 pounds aspect, is there.
I would much rather have Andrew do that to me than Big Dan, that is for sure.
Yeah. Andrew just looks so patient from this position. He is just not doing anything that is not necessary to keep this position. He does not want Trent to have the ability to explode out, try to kip, or try to get those arms back down. And with, about halfway left the match, he has plenty of time to set up a slow, methodical attack. He does not need to rush anything here. The arm is across now.
Yeah, the arm triangle.
Yeah, we're looking for an arm triangle. I think it's more if he
Yeah,
wants to use this.
arms
or
are locked.
front
Yeah,
and back.
yeah. This looks like it's being very tough here. He's just dropping that hip. A lot of pressure on him. Looks like he might be a little high with it.
He might use this to transition to a mounted triangle.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's setting it up for here. Yep. And the arm is isolated here.
Yeah,
Sitting through.
there it is.
Beautiful. Right to that reverse triangle.
That's going to be tight.
Yep.
Even with the arm across, he can still finish this. He can also attack the arm while.
Yeah, and
locking
this reverse triangle kills so much of the shoulder space. I mean, he could just tap right here.
here. Yeah, I love that he grabbed that leg. to keep
Yeah,
that
and this
pressure.
is
Becomes a really tight kind of compression lock as well as the choke. And oftentimes it's going to force Trent to make a big movement that he can either readjust the triangle or.
there's the tap.
And there's the tap. Beautiful submission. By the graph.
You just webbed them up, and I mean,
So far, we've had a lot of submissions, but that might be our sub of the night. So
It could
far.
be,
I think
yeah.
that was a really just beautiful technical submission, and the way he controlled it. That
that was
textbook.
beautiful. I mean, if he probably could have stayed there another minute or two in that same squeeze, right? It looked like he was not rushing it at all. Just cooked him there. Very well done. Crisp technique.
So now we have David Barnes from Kano Jiu-Jitsu against Corey Barnes from AZO. Barnes on Barnes violence coming up. So far, as we mentioned before we started, very high submission rate. We are all 100% subs, no overtimes yet, as we're working our way through this bracket.
David Barnes versus Corey Barnes.
So David is in the black with the white. Corey is in the black with the red. So both Barnes, both with black on. They could not make this more confusing. I'm going to pick Barnes to move on in this bracket.
It's a good bet.
David has been up fighting in our Midwest finishers brackets many times over the years. Corey's also been on the card before. It goes by Karate David. I believe this is his Instagram, or used to be his Instagram. Oh, we got some reverse triangle. Now we got an A-block type of reverse arm lock.
Looked like he might be sitting through.
Yeah, Corey does a good job getting an initial attack off that seated guard.
I'm going to state the obvious here. There's quite a size difference here between both these guys.
Looks like it. Corey's on the leg.
Yeah, this is...
Beautiful start for Corey.
This has been all Corey so far, yeah, but counter leg lock potentially.
David looking for a little yoki lock. We're going to go for that short
Yeah, and this might be tight. This might be tight. Oh, boy.
Good knee line movement by Corey to go back into his
back into the 50. Oh, not quite 50-50
yet. Another hand fighting through. Interesting leg position here.
Corey might be thinking...
From our vantage point, it's hard to see where Corey's got the control on David's leg.
Ooh, David going for a straight knee bar here.
Yeah.
Looks like the knee,
clear
counter straight foot lock.
And now David has his own left arm wrapped around Corey's foot. We cannot see.
Yeah, it is impossible to see what is happening right now, but it looks like Barnes is on the attack.
Yeah, Barnes is definitely attacking this one. Both guys seem to be comfortable here. Neither one is trying to disengage the legs, but neither one is able to get like a real deep fight on these. There's kind of...
I mean, Corey seems like he's just been in the driver's seat, and David's been defending.
Yeah. But David is not trying to clear this position. He seems comfortable here. And there's a counter leg lock attempt again.
He's trying to find the back, and Corey now inverting for the back. And you would think that David's going to want to try to get on top and try to use some of his size, right? I mean, to get on top and put pressure, but Corey's just all over the place, just nonstop moving right to the straight foot lock. That's tight.
He's going to belly down. David doing a good job trying to clear the line to be able to...
Yep, sitting through for the back. Beautifully done there.
Very nice counter from David.
Yeah, but we'll see on the leg positioning here.
Could we see a twister? Could we see a half back? Could we see a twister?
Oh, no, it looks like he's just going to elect to climb the back here.
Corey did a good job of recognizing it.
Yep. And now is where we're going to see the size difference really play into a factor here. Nice tight body triangle.
Might be one of those things where David was able to weather that early storm and now get to a tight position and look kind of grind now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corey looks so nice in those exchanges. Would not be surprised if we see some really slick escape sword defense coming here from him.
Absolutely. Yeah, with that body triangle locked in nice and tight here, though, this isn't going to go anywhere much different at the moment. It's pretty locked in position.
Strong, hard entry of
the
arm from David.
And we might see him start to elect to just choke across the face here. He's going to probably pull his left arm out.
Yeah.
This looks like it's about to be...
That right arm is tight, even though it's not perfectly under the chin yet.
Yeah, once his left arm comes out, it's going to be a race.
Let's see if Corey can peel that hand down and create a little space.
Oh, that's tight.
You hear some grunting, you hear some gurgling.
Yep, now it's under the chin. Now it's under the chin, and now it's just a matter of finding...
One-armed. There's a submission. David Barnes with the RNC. Very fun match. Corey came out really attacking, created a good pace, but David was just able to counter, wear away, and get to that back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very nice performance for both guys. And moving on, we are going to bring in 10th Planet Atlanta's Stephen Dana and Dark Side's Randy Baker. Randy Baker is an experienced competitor in the EBI rule set and no grappling in general, multiple-time Midwest finishers veteran. And Stephen, coming from 10th Planet Atlanta, you know he has a good understanding of all no-gi. Sean Applegate and his 10th Planet crew down in Atlanta are one of the top upcoming gyms in the country for no-gi. Shout out to Ryan Aiken taking PGF 7. That just finished last night in Las Vegas. Looked amazing all weekend.
Yeah, Atlanta having a lot of tough competitors.
Our next match, Stephen Dana versus Randy Baker.
Randy has the beard and the kind of gray and black. Stephen is in the black rash guard without the beard.
Randy definitely a thick 55er here.
Yeah. Very contrasting body types.
Yeah, absolutely.
Weight class. Randy just looks thick and strong for this weight.
Absolutely. Steven opting to pull guard here after.
So you imagine the other matches. Like sometimes guys will wrestle, and then after about 30 seconds, like it's not worth the energy. I'm just gonna pull.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's like, you know, you kind of feel out their energy, feel out their physicality, and I'm sure Randy did not feel very weak
No.
in some of those collar tie exchanges. So.
Sometimes I think they just hope the other guy pulls and for them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'll wrestle enough just to let him pull, and if he doesn't, I'll pull.
Yeah, get right to the jiu-jitsu.
And again, there's no points to. Oh, Randy sits on the leg right away.
Yeah.
Again, coming from 10th Planet Atlanta, Steven definitely is going to have good understanding of that kind of double outside ashi game.
Absolutely, but Dark Side, I mean, they have
Great leg
nasty
locks as
leg
well.
locks too. Yeah. Jordan Holy coming from there, one of their top guys, Midwest
I believe they
finisher
have a
vet.
Dean Lister lineage. I could be wrong, but I believe
Yeah.
they have elite or at least used to. So.
Yeah, so both of these guys are going to be very savvy in the leg exchanges here. So this is going to be an interesting match. I mean, Randy finding his way here to the top position. This is probably going to be the theme of the match, seeing Randy here on top, maybe sitting back for legs, but ultimately fighting back to the top position. Steven looking like he has a very flexible guard with a lot of dexterity.
The 10th Planet Atlanta crew, whether it's Midwest Finishers champ Kevin Beering or Ryan Aiken or those guys, they always have a good job of playing the butterfly game, looking for those arm crutches to get submissions and sweeps and then isolate the legs in transitions. I would expect the same from Steven. Kind of settling into some heavy pressure. He's keeping that left knee nice and heavy in the middle. I'd be surprised if we see Randy try to leg drag that top leg of Steven if he stays in those positions, trying to get outside of the hips. Randy pulling the head, a little kind of open guard can opener action. Good way to really keep pressure and make the bottom guy uncomfortable.
And it's good. I can't think of a way that, I mean, they seem like they're just very like canceling each other out. They're both very high level. It'll be interesting to see who gets an edge and how. Looked like Steven trying to get under him. Randy doing a good job, staying in a good knee staple position. Right leg posted out nice and wide. Good base. We're seeing a lot of that sort of false reap without the arm under as kind of a frame.
Nice off balance from Steven. He's going to at least use it to get on top, which he does. We'll see if he can change kind of the pace of the match now that he's on top. Now they're back to his feet, and then Steven just sits, kind of reset. I'm interested to see as this match goes on if the pacing changes. One of the things that, you know, obviously technical changes, but sometimes you just change the dramatically is just how you pace the match. Right now both guys are in a very kind of even cruise control. No one's really pushing hard or fast. They're both kind of waiting. If nothing's happening, this is a good way to kind of change it. Just attack the same attacks but a little quicker. Break that tempo, break that rhythm. We'll see if either guy opts to do that.
And this is, it's been a lot of one-sided guard passing. Randy passing to the right side, which in general is usually people's weaker side. But Steven doing a good job, staying comfortable playing on this hip as well. So yeah, like I've been saying, it looks like these guys, they're both trying to set stuff up, but everyone's so savvy.
He's got that shoulder crush.
They shot the shoulder crush here, but it looks like Randy was just kind of trying to find his moment, not really rushing out of that.
He wasn't really committed to it either. It's like both guys are a little, again, they respect each other, obviously, but neither is really committed to anything that fully yet.
Yeah, a very conservative approach for sure.
Yeah, halfway in, right as I say that, was a little exchange, and again, kind of reset to the same position. Now that we're halfway through, you're interested to see if, again, there's a dynamic change or tempo change.
And this sort of butterfly half situation has been kind of the story of the match so far. Randy keeping that left arm kind of weaved through onto the hip there. And Steven kind of pushing him away, almost appearing to get a little bit frustrated from the bottom here.
As we're past halfway, and we really haven't seen anyone kind of get to anything even close to a dominant position or a sub. This may be our first overtime match.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like I was saying, it'll be interesting to see if anybody does get an edge, how that's going to happen here, because Randy doing a good job putting the pressure kind of forward here, but with the guard as dynamic as Stevens, I mean, I would almost think disengaging and trying to move side to side laterally might be a better option at this point.
Sometimes I think as both a coach, competitor, commentator, this is a match where both guys are being so disciplined to what they want to do that neither guy is really willing to like trust in something outside of the exact game plan they had. Like this clearly seems to be the exact guard Steve wanted to play, and Randy wants to be in this guard passing position, and neither guy is really willing to deviate from that path.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we were in like a fight to win rule set where, you know, you were getting sort of points by sub attempts, you would say Steven's definitely ahead on the sub attempts, but I mean, he hasn't gotten really that deep on anything. It's been more just kind of, you know, fishing for the arms, fishing for the choi bar kind of things, fishing for those straight shoulder crunch arm bars. Maybe he's trying to set up sumigeshis, but Randy doing a good job just staying in base and not really letting any kind of off balances happen. And so we're kind of winding down here into this regulation period, and this is EBI overtime, and so if there is no submission after this 10-minute regulation, we will go to the EBI overtime period. And as I say that,
Randy finally sits back again.
Yeah, Randy.
Early, so he changes it.
Yeah, he's sitting back, and Steven doing a good job keeping his foot planted on the mat, and now the foot has been elevated off the mat. Outside heel hook here. Steven, big reaction there. That
was definitely the closest to this match, but then we
for
wound
sure
up in the same spot.
Yeah, absolutely, but that'll definitely get Steven thinking about, you know, his right leg placement and the potential for Randy to fall back on that again.
This will be interesting to see the overtime dynamic, as neither guy's been super aggressive in regulation, and both coming from really well-prepared gyms for this rule set. And will be interesting to see who has the overtime advantage, especially stylistic or body type-wise. Randy sometimes as the shorter, kind of stockier guy, it can be hard to hold. Steven, the longer, lankier guy with the longer legs for like the body triangle game. It could be a very interesting, contrasting style in the overtime. Again, when you train with 10th Planet Atlanta, Ryan Aiken may be the best EBI player in the world. Him and Nicky Rod are probably the two hardest to deal with EBI overtime guys, so you know that experience should be there. But Randy is a very, very well prepared no-gi competitor. He's competed all over the country in every rule set, and we've seen him in EBI here before, so he definitely will come from a strong background with that as well.
And so we're under a minute here remaining. We don't have a clock in front of us, so we're not able to see the exact time, but I just expect maybe 20-30 seconds left at this point. So it looks like this is going to be fixing to be the first overtime match of the afternoon. And the referee gets to decide. Oh, I'm not going to explain it until the match is over here. Quick foot lock attempt there from Randy.
Oh, that was a tight one, man.
Yeah, big reaction.
So I'm guessing they're going to give that to Randy kind of for the decision, since he had 2 deep attempts late in that match, and they do.
Yep. So Randy gets to choose whether he wants to attack or defend first. And it looks like he is choosing to defend. And so Steven got to choose the back. And you know they've drilled this a ton over at 10 Planet in Atlanta. they probably drill this position on a daily basis, so this is going to be, you'd have to think this position favors the 10th Planet Atlanta guy, but again, Randy coming from Dark Side Jiu-Jitsu, where a ton of EBI experience there, so we'll see how this plays out. Oh, and it looks like this is already tight. There's a quick tap.
Now this is a time submission, so Randy will have a chance. He has to get a submission quicker, which is going to be very tough, especially when Steven knows all he has to do is not get tapped in 15 seconds.
Absolutely. Steven doing a good job here.
He's the time, even if he doesn't get.
Yep, arms out, and that is the match.
Very nice performance from Steven Dana. Long, tough match. But he's able to get the submission in our first overtime, and he will be moving on in our bracket. And we are about to finish the last match of our opening round of our bracket. We have Nick Arnell from Gracie Maita against Reese Lefebvre from New Wave. Reese is teammates with Andrew DeGraff, who we saw earlier. And for those who don't know, the way we do the brackets, similar to ADCC, we put teammates on the same side of the bracket so they cannot meet in the finals with money on the line. We don't want to like a closeout or kind of a thrown match. So teammates, if they continue to win, will fight each other, and they will fight each other before the final. Reese has a big pedigree and big background, again, coming from New Wave, one of the best teams in the world. He's a newcomer on kind of a high-level scene, but he's already got big wins and multiple tournaments, Enigma, ADCC Opens. So Reese is a very, very tough competitor. Nick, coming from Gracie Maita, teammates of Dylan Burdett, who we saw earlier today. Reese is in the all red. Dylan is in the black and yellow. Or Nick, I should get Nick's in the black and yellow. Nick sits right away.
Sitting in straight away is Reese. Looking for that weave style pass. Got the arm weaved through. Looking to be sitting back.
Nick gets in on Reese's leg. Reese looking for the counter leg.
Yeah, now we're in the 50-50 position here.
50. Nice attack by Nick. Now Reese looking
nice attack, yeah, but now this is
game.
Yeah, now he's gonna be countering here. Passing
Now
to the double outside position.
Reese gets a heel exposure. Now he's looking for the knee bar. It could be using the back take.
Yeah, and the back is exposed here. Reese doing a good job. Yeah, very fun exchange. Very technical. Bear trap here.
Bear trap's in. Reese is going to be backing in that leg on the opposite side.
And Reese is going to try to attack both legs, attacking the left one, but also threatening the saddle position on the right one. Dylan doing a good job keeping his left knee free. If his left knee becomes trapped here and he gets put in the saddle, this is going to be an entirely different position. So Dylan doing a good job keeping the left knee line free. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nick doing a good job keeping the
sorry.
Yeah, Dylan, his teammate we saw earlier. The Gracie Maita rash guard is confusing. Reese with both legs laced. His foot might be caught in Reese's rash guard too. And it comes through. Nice hip movement from Nick to come up on top. Very impressive. And now good head and arm from Nick. He's doing a really nice job in some dangerous positions, really navigating well. Now Reese is back in on the legs, and he's back on top.
Good heavy top pressure here. Trying to find that crossface.
We're starting to slow the game down a little bit, getting heavy on the hips. Nick, after Nick looks very dangerous in these early exchanges, I think it's a good strategy. Even though Reese is a very, very high-level leg locker, it looks like that's Nick's strategy as well. So
Nick hunting the Choi bar there.
Nick is looking really nice. He's chaining his attacks well, defending well. Very impressed for his first time here.
Absolutely.
And then on the leg again.
Yeah, double outside Ashi here, very
really
tight.
Nice. And Reese again looking to counter as well.
Now we're back into the 50-50 position here. Reese looking to separate the legs here, trying to sit through to 80-20, passing the leg to the outside for double outside ashi.
Nick trying to pull his knee line out, but it looks caught. Those legs are triangled.
Nick looking for that toe hold there.
Now Reese has a nice pressure on the knee. If he breaks that knee line control, bends the knee, he can find that. Nick countering with his own straight foot lock over the top. In that exchange, though, Reese, if he gets the heel exposure, it's going to be a more devastating technique than the straight foot lock that Nick was looking for.
And this is an interesting position here. Reese is looking to hunt that outside heel hook here. Either outside heel hook or straight ankle, but Nick doing a good job triangling his legs here.
Yeah, the angle his legs are triangled, Reese is going to have to do a little readjustment to get that leg free without giving up some back exposure. But
and this is about as close to a Boston Crab as we're going to get in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, interesting. This is a very the triangle lock Nick has makes it a slightly strange position. It's going to be hard for him to get his hip free.
Yeah, and Nick
Reese
might be able to find the back off of this, but
I think he's too worried about that foot. Reese has a really good bite, and he knows if he lets go of that leg, he's going to get his leg taken. So he's kind of in a strange spot. If he wants to advance position, he's going to get foot locked. If he doesn't want to get foot locked, he's going to have to stay locked in this strange.
Reese doing a good job just
hanging off Nick's leg, but Nick uses it to keep control.
And this is interesting because he's riding the line of getting his back exposed, but he's clearly very well versed in this position here.
Nick's left foot is just triangled underneath his right leg, and it's going to be hard for Reese to put that pressure on. But he's so deep on the leg, he does not want to let it go here.
Yeah, the thing is if he uncrosses his feet and tries to hip out towards the back, that's going to be the moment that Reese just explodes.
Now Reese has a better angle to try to untangle those feet now that the triangle is not locked to the outside the same way. But it still will be tough the way Nick's got that long leg locked over the top. And now he looks to be maybe trying to counter. Now Reese might have
that outside heel hook. That's tight. Oof.
That was
the knee line's back in. The knee line's back in.
He's able to reposition and get that through. Now he's looking to double trouble. We could see. Is this going to be a Z-lock attempt coming?
Yeah, this is definitely a very, very good entanglement here for Reese.
Z-locks are not fun positions.
Not fun at all.
One of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous submission in all of Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, but with this lock, he's going for that Z-lock. That's tight.
And there, I heard a pop. I heard a pop right before the submission, and there's a little limp already from Nick. Reese Lefebvre with a Z-lock.
Oof.
And that has to be another one up on the list for subs of the night. It might be the two new wave guys, 1 and 2 right now, best subs so far.
First
really nice
audible pop
by Nick, though, coming in against a really, really highly regarded opponent. He looked very good, had some great moments, looked very, very savvy. I hope that we see him back again, and hopefully his knee and hip are okay. With that, we conclude the opening round of our men's 155-pound bracket. We're going to hit a couple super fights. We're going to have Nicholas Bordas from 10th Planet Lombard going up against Jay Sean Pearson from 10th Planet Greenville. 10th Planet Greenville, well represented today in our super fights. Manny Vasquez, many-time, multiple-time Midwest Finishers competitor and champ. Up from 10th Planet Greenville, bringing some of his crew up here to compete.
Our next match is a super fight between Nicholas Bordas and Joshua Pearson.
Nick in the all black, Joshua in the black and green. Joshua looking to show some good wrestling. Jay Sean, I should say, it's not Joshua. Really nice wrestling by Jay Sean. Looks to be putting heavy pressure on Nick right away. Have you ever seen Manny Vasquez, the coach from 10th Planet Greenville? You'll know he has really heavy pressured, really good body lock passing, and you're seeing this from a student of his. Really nice job keeping those legs trapped up, keeping pressure on them. Pearson's really putting good hip pressure. Nick doing a good job staying safe, keeping his frames and his knee shields in, trying to not let that pressure get up to his body or his head. Nick got a little bit more space. Now he's able to get up on his elbow, take a little net pressure off his hips. A Kimura attempt from the bottom from Nick. Pearson does a good job not letting the Kimura control the shoulder line and getting back to a safe passing position. Now we're getting back to more of a seated versus standing position here. This is a little space. Oh, reset more in the half guard. Pearson's starting to get that right knee a little bit deeper in. Looking for the weave with it so we can body lock over the top. Very nice timing. He's going to jump to the other side, I think, once Nick overcommits and then try to expose the back. But Nick does a good job not letting that back exposure happen and getting back to this kind of knee shield. Kimura attempt again from Nick. Pearson doing a good job not letting him get chest to chest from any kind of connection, though. Kind of leg weave into like a low body lock is what Pearson's been doing all match. He's been having good success, but he hasn't been able to get that full pass. We'll see if he's going to change an optical a little bit more side to side. Nick again kind of looking for that left arm. Kimura's had attack on the side, but he's not getting any kind of chest to chest connection. He's not able to get that full control. Now a little bit of an inversion coming from Nick. It looked like he was looking for a little bit of a leg exposure. And now Pearson throws leg through and actually gets all the way around. Can he establish the full pass here? He's now set his hip, so he's got the pass. We'll see if he can establish something dominant. Nick doing a good job trying to get those knees back in. Gets to the turtle. Now we got to again, that Kimura attempt from Nick almost cost him the back, but he was able to reposition. Now 3/4 mount. And now he settles into the mount. So Pearson now in on the mount. Still has plenty of time to attack. Could see a gift wrap from here.
A lot of pressure here from the top position.
Yeah.
Stepping out into the side control position, opting for the knee on belly.
Even though not a great position for Nick, definitely better than the isolated arm. And as I say that, an arm bar is coming up from Pearson. He has the arm isolated. He's going to step the left leg over. And he smartly, I think, takes the mount with the arm as opposed to forcing the arm bar. That was a very good decision. I don't think that arm bar was going to be the best finishing technique. And now it's time to work for that gift wrap, back exposure. nice positional control from Pearson. We'll see if he can get that back exposure that he seems to be looking for, or if Nick can get back to a half guard. He's got him on the side now. This is good. A good time to take the back or find that gift wrap position, but Nick's been disciplined with his elbow position and not letting it happen. Good defensive structure so far.
Trying to fight to get to his side here. Nick doing a good job trying to keep his frames in, trying to stay on his side, not get flattened out. He's got to watch the arm bar, though, in the transition.
Pearson, again, was looking arm bar, but then he opted to stay in the top position. He didn't feel the angle was there. Pearson just slowly climbing up in this mount, trying to get the arm isolated for either the head and arm choke or the gift wrap. And so far, he's just not able to get fully there. Nick's doing a really good job not getting really put into that next step of bad position that is coming from here. And as I say that, the back finally gets exposed. See if Nick's able to pull out, and he does. And he gets back.
Right,
and now he's looking for the leg lock. But does a good job. Now he tries to wrestle up.
Trying to sit out. Good control here from Pearson, not letting the sit out happen. Nick building up to a tripod, standing position.
I just like that option when Nick got out of a bad position. He just tried to attack right away and not just relax. But Pearson just kind of one step ahead in his control. And now we reset into this half guard, kind of weave, low body like spot we saw earlier in the match. We'll see if they either one opts for a different attack. Nick again looking a little Kimura game. Pearson looking to get heavy and flatten him out from the top.
Pearson doing a good job. Pearson's had a lot of control and patience too.
Now I have a little over-under type of action. Nick really seems to want that Kimura fight on that left arm, and he's not. He's got a couple connections, but nothing deep where he could really threaten anything with the finish yet.
Kind of heard a sort of pop coming from the mat. I'm not sure if that was a foot hitting the mat or potentially a knee. I'm not sure. Both guys seem to be okay here. Nick just kind of patiently waiting for Pearson to move forward.
Minute left. Both guys are going to have to do something kind of major if they want this submission to happen in regulation.
Underhook on the leg. Maybe he'll sit through, try to go for a far side knee bar.
Nick with a nice kickoff, really aggressively trying to create something. With a minute left, that's the kind of action we want to see if you want something to happen. Nick again looking for that Kimura, just cannot get that shoulder connection we need. About to head to overtime.
Good knee shield here, and both these guys look like they're about to ride this out to overtime. And as I say that is time. We are now going to move into our EBI overtime. And referee giving Nick the choice. Unless he gave Pearson the choice and he chose to defend, I couldn't see.
Yeah, I could not see either.
Looking like Nick opting for the spider web position here to start.
I like to see the spider. We don't see this all the time. And we've said in multiple broadcasts, I think a lot of competitors do not put enough time into the spider web, so it may be a good way to really find some inconsistency in the training regime. But coming from Manny Vasquez's team,
That's tight right
I'd be
away.
surprised if Pearson did not have a good preparation for this.
Wow. And that arm was extended right away, and that was very good late tier defense.
That's the kind of classic, dilemma with the arm lock, is that like you either get that quick submission or you may get loose position. So there's not much right time set up there.
Right.
Pearson choosing to go for back. So we saw the spider web. Now we're going to see the back position. Let's see if Nick is able to clear those feet. The choke may be in. There's pressure. There's pressure. Oh, almost out, almost out, almost out. Nice. Both guys with quick escapes. I like that.
Wow.
So the armbar was faster, but not much.
Now that was some heart right there, because that looked like it was under the chin. That looked like it was a done deal, and he really turned that corner.
Chin choke, we saw an extended armbar. They both escaped.
Yeah.
Now we'll see if Nick changes or keeps scaling for armbar. He had a really good bite on that arm, so I would opt for the spider web again, and he is. So let's see if Nick can get the armbar this time. Let's see if Pearson has a different defensive structure, because he did get out, but his arm looked to maybe have taken a pop on that one. Here we go, set our second overtime round. Nice control of the hip this time by Nick. This is a good option for him. Oh, that arm just slipped out. And now we'll see if Pearson chooses spider web or the back. And now he's going to go spider
He
web.
goes spider web here.
Interesting.
See if he thinks he can do it better, huh?
He had a good bite on the choke the first time,
Yeah.
but Nick did escape very, very well. So
Well, in regulation, Pearson was hinting at arm bars all the time,
Yeah.
and now we'll see when he gets from the locked spider web here.
yeah. And he's not controlling the hip. Interesting.
He's going towards the head here.
Yeah, if I were Nick, I'd want to roll to my left here and really try to build my base. But Pearson's doing a good job with the feet, keeping him away.
Oh, and the arm's extended. The arm's extended.
Both guys just not wanting to give up these positions.
And, oh, the same escape. The same escape that was used on him.
We're
Wow.
going to our last round.
Very nice.
Pearson definitely has the ride time, but he almost got out. So we'll see if Nick opts to go for back or if he goes spider web for our last round. It's Nick attacking. Shouldn't it be Nick attacking?
Yeah.
Pearson just attacked.
Wait.
Wait, whoa. Yeah. Yeah, Nick should be attacking. And that makes more sense. Nick is now going to be attacking his third overtime. Is he going to go back or is he going to go arm?
Looks like he's choosing the other arm this time.
Interesting.
Okay.
I was expecting back. I thought he was going to go for the ride time, but he wants the arm. Now maybe going to the other arm to see if the escapes aren't as good on the other side. I like that thought process. You want to keep him down. The arm looks extended. I can't see from here, but he gets out. That's probably
it.
We'll probably run a third overtime to give Pearson a chance for his submission, but I think he's got the ride time no matter how long this round goes. That's it. Now we're not going to go to the third. Pearson's already won by ride time. Fun match, though. Both guys look good. Good defense and good escaping from Nick. Good attacks. Fun match from two newcomers to Midwest finishers. We're going to have one more super fight before we jump back into our men's bracket. We have Delane Davis-Brown from Metro Jiu-Jitsu against Ada McAfee from American Jiu-Jitsu.
So we are getting our mats wiped up right now. And then we are moving on to one more super fight. We have Delane Davis-Brown out of Metro BJJ going up against Aiden McAfee under American Jiu-Jitsu.
They're getting set for our next match. Shout out to Jiu-Jitsu Idiots, one of the sponsors for the show today, doing their podcast here, Russell and Greg. So if you like Jiu-Jitsu and you like Midwest finishers, they'll be doing a kind of interview and play-by-play podcast that you can follow, you can download on all podcast networks after the show. Again, we have a $100 submission of the night bonus coming later tonight from hand wraps. Again, I would say Reese and Andrew DeGraff currently would be ahead. Also shout out to the rest of our sponsors, New Rule Design, Baked by Liz, Cilantro Taco Grill, Home Gym, 10th Planet Lombard, and again, Jiu-Jitsu Idiots podcast.
So we've got one more super fight, and then we are going to be moving into our men's 155-pound quarterfinal.
As we get into the quarterfinals, you're going to see some fireworks in those divisions. The opening round was very fun, but as we get into the deeper rounds, you're going to start seeing some really, really high-level talent colliding. I think we're about ready for our next super fight.
Our next match, the super fight between Delane Davis-Brown and Aiden McAfee.
Two newcomers to Midwest finishers here. We may have a jewelry removal real quick. A little early hand fighting. Both guys looking for collar ties.
Ooh,
Oh,
a little slide by.
Back bite it.
And
Nice
it's dump right
slam.
to the mat. We're trying to Granby roll out of it.
Arm triangle set up already.
Setting up the arm triangle.
He has the head and arm isolated. Let's see if he's able to clear the hips and get a connection ear to ear here to finish this choke. But he's in a good spot to start him. Delane does a good job using his hooks to get him away and create some space. Very good recovery.
Good and scrambles there.
But nice way to start. Nice little takedown. Nice little submission and attack and escape. Again. Now Delane sits, enters in the leg, gets to the single leg X.
Yeah, right into single leg X here. Aiden
Nice,
doing a
nice
good job
exposure.
trying to spin through. Thought about maybe he rolling for the back, opts to stay on top, trying to get into the body lock position.
Now we get a little open guard, butterfly action. Nice job by Delane to get the space to get back up.
Just both guys on their feet here. Exchanging collar ties here, getting feels.
After that initial slide by from Aiden, I would not, yeah, he does it
Yeah,
again.
beautiful slide by.
Doesn't
Right.
get as deep, but he gets to a good angle.
Yeah, sitting
Delane
into the
shoots
leg.
through the leg, rolling E-bar.
Yeah, now we're into the saddle position here.
Now he has a really nice angle on that leg.
Yeah, this
Let's see
is-
if he can get it.
Aiden doing a good job with his right leg there to shimmy his leg out of the saddle and hunting a calf slicer here potentially. Delane,
Toe hold.
outside heel hook attempt, extending away.
We'll see if Delane goes for the collar ties again because he's been, slid by twice, resulting in going to the floor. This time he sits again to single leg X. So looking for the legs is definitely Delane's path to clearly. Really nice deep lace. And now he has a heel exposure. Aiden does a good job creating a roll to clear his knee line.
Yeah, knee line
Foot is
free
still
there.
caught. Delane tries to attack the other leg and pull it back in. Now he comes on top. See Aiden from the bottom. Aiden comes back up. He's been doing really nice on the feet, so it's not surprising me.
And we'll look to see another slide by here.
Yeah, I
Slide.
would not be collar tying if I was Delane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you think, like, if that's your game plan, normally it's hard to change mid-match, especially some of the lower belts. You don't see a ton of in-match adjustment the way you do sometimes the higher levels.
Beautiful
Nice.
knee tap.
Yeah, really nice.
Solid wrestling. Right to the head and arm.
Aiden really looking good on the feet. But Delane has some interesting reactions. Like,
He
goes
does.
with the energy very well, rolling through the knee bars.
Ooh, Peruvian necktie.
Peruvian necktie. This is tight.
Oh, that's tight. That's a tight Peruvian.
And Delane is just almost just taking a deep breath and relaxing at first because he wasn't worried about the choke. Really nice defense. That looked very tight
Yeah.
from where we were sitting. And
We haven't seen a Peruvian necktie in a long time.
Delane did not even at all seem concerned. He just let himself gently peel out.
Stapling the legs here, but Delane's right leg with the butterfly hook is going to create the space that he needs. He's looked like he might have thought about going back onto his feet, opting to stay into the guard.
One thing about the chokes at this weight class, these guys are both kind of tall and skinny. Sometimes closing off a choke like a Peruvian is hard against a kind of a lankier opponent. Getting that shoulder or that arm to hit the neck, there's sometimes just too much space.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with those neckties, it's hard to see how tight something is, right, with the inner web like that. But
Yeah, we're gonna see it.
another ankle peg.
Again, an interesting counter from Delane.
Wow.
Cartwheel out. Now he gets his own overhook and does it again.
Wow,
This is a fun matchup.
that was pretty cool. So knee tap to cartwheel
knee tap to
is a thing.
I will say, sometimes when you see a counter like that, opponents can get flustered or frustrated or not know what to do. And Aiden just kept wrestling through, did not say anything. This has been a fun match.
Absolutely. But what's interesting is that
Another slide by to the Grandy, and now he uses it to come on top.
will he get to the back or to the mount here, though?
But now he may get rolled. Yeah, this is exchanges that.
Ooh, the back's exposed.
And now Aiden's got the hooks, but they're so low.
Yeah, but this
Can he
is
come on top? He does.
Yep.
But now it looks like a half guard.
He's
And
sitting
he
right
rolls to the back.
Beautiful chair sit right to the back.
And now he gets a full locked in back position.
And we just hit our
halfway through.
5-minute mark. So
This has been a high-paced 5 minutes.
absolutely. And this is a very dominant position. But Aiden has had really good composure. I mean, Delane's thrown some funky stuff at him.
Yeah.
And Aiden has just completely been unfazed by everything. Has just kept playing his game. I mean, the guy cartwheeled the counter, and then he just went for the same takedown again. I mean, it was just like the same cartwheel, too. It was like, wow, very entertaining.
I will say, no matter what happens the rest of this fight, I want to see Delane Davis Brown more because that's
Absolutely.
this is somebody I like to watch grapple.
Absolutely.
5 minutes of him has been a highly.
It's hard to see. It looks like there might be a rear naked choke locked in here. It's hard to see if it's on.
Yeah, we can't see from our angle. Aiden looks to be in control though. And
There's the tight, tight finish.
Aiden McAfee with the submission. Really fun matchup. Great show of sportsmanship by both guys. Great super fight. Get that energy high. Keep that energy high. Before we head back into our bracket.
Very nice match.
And with that, we're heading back into our men's 155-pound bracket, our quarterfinals. First matchup already is going to be a fun one. Pedro Serrano against Hashir Azam, both with submissions in regulation. Hashir had a much quicker fight. Pedro had a long, drawn-out fight. He won, was in a great position to be battled. So these two are coming at two very, very seasoned veterans of Midwest finishers and EBI.
Absolutely, and we're going to see a very contrasting, not only body type, but just style of jiu-jitsu in general. Hashir likely going to probably pull guard, and then Pedro likely going to be the passer.
Pedro Serrano and Hashir Azam.
Hashir is definitely going to have the home crowd advantage. Again, he's from a local 10-pound Lombard, our host gym. Here we go. Hashir is in the green and white, seated guard position.
Yep, right for the false sweep.
Got a nice
Wow, false sweep in immediately.
Pedro's going to use the try to take the back.
Yeah, you gotta be very careful playing double outside Ashi against someone like Pedro. That leg drag can come on very quickly, or the back exposure.
False sweep attempt again from Ashir. Pedro
Yep.
was looking for a little steam a lot.
Kiss of the Dragon, inverting through. Pedro doing a good job. Just thinking maybe dragging that leg by. Hashir doing a good job with his frames here. So as we kind of predicted, Hashir, the guard player here, Pedro going to be the passer. And Hashir seems to be very comfortable here. A lot of dexterity, very flexible guard. In his last match, he showed a lot of K guard, sort of reverse guard, kind of A block entries. So very well versed guard. But Pedro on top, you know, being one of the favorites in the bracket, defending champion here at Midwest Finishers, is going to bring the heat to Hashir for sure.
It was interesting. Pedro was very willing to play kind of a leg lock shootout in his first match, and then he changed to opt into a pressure top position. In this match against Ashir, another leg locker, he's just kind of opting for that pressure top position, not really looking for the leg lock shootout this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if he just realized it's going to be too dangerous to play that game, or he just was confident and he said, "No one's going to sweep or submit me if I play my top game."
Oh wow! And this is an interesting false sweep counter there. Seen quite a bit of false replay here.
No one's really gotten into a deep false sweep, but a lot of guys have been looking for them throughout the day.
Yep, and here we go again. And again on the false sweep. And this time the leg is trapped, but Pedro doing a good job stapling with his left leg here. Stop that elevation from happening. In this position right here, yeah, that can be tough on the knee. So Hashir doing a good job with the bottom leg, bringing it back into the picture. Sitting through, double outside Ashi here, but we got to watch the back and the leg drag here.
Yep.
This is very tough.
Pedro has connected head and arm. Oh, and Ashir does a good job. He's looking for that outside reverse false sweep, and if he defends that, he can try to send it into a 50-50.
Oof.
Pedro did a good job pulling the hip through because of the head control, though. Now he gets the pass.
Nice bump
times
there
them
by
out.
Hashir. Very well done. Good timing there on the bridge. Nice, and Hashir doing a really good job retaining his guard here.
False sweep attempt again.
Yeah, going in for the false sweep once again.
Pedro
I mean,
being very disciplined with his knee and hip position to not let that lift happen.
oh, and now,
This could be an A block entry.
this could be an A block entry for sure.
Could be that reverse closed guard kind of game. Hashir's very good
Yeah,
at.
but the problem is all that pressure. I mean, that
Pressure
is,
from Pedro,
yeah,
he
that's
uses it to
an
step
immense
over.
amount of pressure.
Let's see if he can get that hip escape again. And this is where Pedro did his work and really took over in his first match. We'll see if he can do the same thing in his second match.
Hashir trying to recover his guard here.
He's got a gift rep set.
Yeah, Pedro finding the back.
Now he's got the body triangle.
It looks
Pedro's
like,
on the face.
yeah, it's across the face. There's the
There's
tap.
a submission. A face crank slasher, naked choke for Pedro Serrano. Really nice pressure, consistency, not getting at all worried when those leg entries were happening. And Pedro Serrano will move on into our semifinal. Our second quarterfinal, we are going to see Lucas Jones coming back against David Garcia. Lucas opting for a rash guard this time as opposed to the no rash guard. Interesting choice. Both these guys had submissions in regulation. Both guys wrestled a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more wrestling exchanges in this match between two guys who look good from top and bottom.
Our next match, Lucas Jones versus David Garcia.
David in the black with the blue circle on the rash guard. And Lucas in the inverted panda, black and white. And now, like I expected, good wrestling exchanges here. David always likes to wrestle, and the guys from Mat Factory can definitely always scrap on the feet.
Yeah, we saw that ankle pick attempt right out the gate, which was made popular recently by Cade Retotal at the Craig Jones Invitational.
Nice collar touch by Lucas.
Ooh.
Right into a shot from David into the wall camera. Nice takedown by David. Lucas now in the open guard. David right away on some heavy pressure. Lucas tried to roll with it, come out. Even though Lucas was wrestling, he should have a funky and good guard in his opening.
Ooh,
match.
right to the Kimura trap. Beautiful.
Right away, David. Beautiful. David has a really good Kimura game. That is not where you want him. It's on his arm.
Really well done here by David.
So we're a minute in. That's been a fast-paced 1 minute.
Looking for some route drag action.
Lucas is doing a good job of pummeling his feet inside, trying to use it to not let David get into smash passing, using his shins and his knees to push him away.
Beautiful
David,
pass.
nice pass. Timed that very well.
Oh, right
Buggy
to the
choke.
buggy. Right to the buggy. Wow.
Lucas is a long, tall competitor. This is the kind of guy buggy chokes are the most effective for. This is tight. David is readjusting this. This is tight. David doing a good job being heavy on his right side to try to take that pressure off, but he's having to defend this.
Oh, now the bugs are figure four here. That's
closed buggy. This might be it. His head is turned. He elevates. Lucas's legs come up, and now he's connecting his hands again. This is a tight choke. And he gets a submission.
tap.
Buggy choke for Lucas Jones. And that has to be a bit of an upset. Beautiful performance from Lucas. And I think that is our sub of the night so far. A really, really nice submission. Now Lucas has shown a complete game. Very impressive performance. Now he will move on to fight Pedro Serrano in our first semifinal. The crowd here's a little stunned. Very quiet in the room after that one. Now we have our multiple-time Midwest Finishers champ Andrew DeGraff coming back on the mat. And he will be taking on the Battle of the Barnes winner from earlier today, David Barnes.
Our next match, Andrew DeGraff versus David Barnes.
So Andrew Dannett in the black and green, David in the black and white. Andrew sits right away. Andrew right away and on the leg. He has a good bite on that ankle. This is could be end early. Side straight foot. He could slip the heel for the Woj lock. David does a good job not allowing that to happen. David looking for a leg drag. Andrew might be looking for that Kanye Basami.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to pull him in for that K guard.
Yeah, he's again, as we've talked a few times today, he was doing a good job with that 2-on-1 to try to find it. Rolling Kimura by David. He gets a bite on it. Andrew's coming up. David looking for the back exposure into the armbar.
Right into the armbar. Wow.
He has the armbar locked. Andrew's hands are connected, but David is on the arm. And he's rolling through, but Andrew's able to come out. David in on the leg. Beautiful transition. He went right for a lateral knee bar. Now he's looking for the Mikey lock / inside heel. And now he has a nice bite. Really beautiful jiu-jitsu from David Barnes in that exchange.
Absolutely, but now
Andrew's
straight
back
foot
on
lock.
his leg.
Yeah, this could be a. The heel could be slipping. Looks like the knee line's clear.
David back on the leg himself. And now we're kind of seated guard shootout. David opposite coming back on top. Really, really fun one to start. Trying to be heavy on the shins, putting a downward pressure, not letting Andrew to connect, but Andrew gets that right foot based on the hip. It's a good way to start setting up that K-guard entry.
Yeah.
David doing a good job not letting the secondary leg come over the top, and Andrew brings it inside.
That was interesting. Interesting leg work there.
Yeah,
K-guard.
very nice re-entry.
Swam that left leg through. That was nice.
David gets in on Andrew's leg again. Again, we've seen quite a few guys go for that short, straight foot lock so far. No one's really gotten a good bite on it. We've seen a lot of entries of it today. It's a good way to create reactions from a training partner or an opponent. Andrew's got the leg up by the head. Might be looking to transition to like a Mikey lock or something as the legs start to come unweaved. Now backside into 50-50. Andrew's got the leg wrapped, and now he's going to roll through to try to get that heel exposure. David does a good job hiding the leg, but Andrew back on the heel.
Ooh, now the 80-20s looks like it's set in here, but knee lines are clear.
Knee lines are clear, yep. Now we might have a little dueling toe holds.
Yeah, dueling toe holds, but this looks more like a foot flex, but there's no control of the knee, no control of the hip there, so it'd be tough to get the finish on the foot flex.
Now Andrew's got it. A little back exposure from David.
Ooh, back exposed. Andrew doing a good job keeping his back flat on the mat, getting his butt out and away, sitting up through potentially into the saddle.
Yep.
David doing a good job to counter the saddle with his right butterfly hook.
Andrew now on the straight foot.
Yeah, traditional ashigarami here. David doing a good job with his exterior leg.
Andrew's a nice tight foot or tight grip on the right leg of David.
Yeah, but the...
Now we're just going to switch to that kind of reverse grip. I might be going Mikey lock.
It looks like David Barnes, I think, is also chewing gum right now. So
He might be going toe hold. It's hard to see what David's going for on his side.
looks like he's trying to wedge.
Very technical exchanges going on here from both competitors.
Little grimace on the face there, yeah. It's hard to see from the booth kind of what happened right there, but
Andrew's kind of being relentless on these legs now. Now we saw him come on top and show some really good passing earlier in his first match. David kicks him away to reset.
yeah, David not wanting to play from the bottom position there, which we saw how crisp Andrew's passing looked before. I'm sure David saw that as well, opting to want to stay on top. Andrew looking to wrestle here himself.
Nice ankle peg. David looks very fast today. Lots of good movements.
Absolutely.
Nice roll through for Andrew. Little anaconda.
Rolling through again a second time and a
rolls
third
him again.
time.
He's tighter now. He went
Yeah.
from aspirate to palm to palm. Now he's going to try to grab the bicep. He's going to try to grab. Here, let's go. Nice trip.
Beautiful trip.
David works his way out. Now he's back on top. You're going to reset. Stomping on the foot. Control the other ankle. And he enters his own leg. Nice straight foot lock attempt. Now he's going double outside ashi. This could become a back exposure.
Absolutely. Andrew doing a good job with his left arm.
Control that hip.
Yep. He's got the hip nice and controlled, looking to get the leg drag. The leg drag looks like it's settled.
Now he's got the body lock.
Yeah, and
his
this
hands
is
connected, it looks like. David did a good job not keeping his back exposed. He tried to get his back back to the floor to get it.
Doing a good job pushing on his neck, too, to try to keep the leg drag from happening. But Andrew doing a really good job putting all of his weight into the left leg, trying to smash the double outside ashi to the left side. But David could get to his right shoulder, try to off balance. As he's kind of doing that, he's on his right shoulder.
Now this could be it. Where
Yeah,
the back exposure really comes in. Head and arm biograph, and he gets the back exposure.
Yeah. No, we got the seatbelt in, and now Andrew's likely going to try to hop over the side or pull him straight back, which he does. David Barnes trying to get over the top.
This halfback set, sometimes this is a harder position to create hip movement from for David's position. While you don't have the full back lock, your hip does get locked in an awkward position. We may see another face crank. We saw one earlier just a couple matches ago. The graph has the back exposure. It was across David's face, really trying to fight that position. David doing a good job not letting that hand stay attached to his face or neck.
The second hook looks like it's found its way in.
Yep.
Body triangle coming in. Body triangle set.
Still a couple minutes left, so
It's hard to see from our booth if he's got the lock in here. Looks like he might be close to under the chin. He might be across the face. Hard to see. Looks like he's palm to palm here, just cranking across the face.
He may get it.
It's hard to see.
I think he's gonna get this one.
Yes.
Well, he's not squeezing right now.
And he's only able to get palm to palm.
I think
There's.
he's gonna get this.
Yeah, once the figure four is locked in, this is when it's going to start to get real tight.
Andrew's keeping a constant squeeze.
Yeah, and that's.
There's the
a tap,
submission.
There's a tap.
Andrew DeGraff with the sub in regulation, but that was a battle. Really good performance by David Barnes both in the first match and this one. Really impressive jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely.
And then we're going to go to our last quarterfinal. Bringing back Stephen Dana and Reese Lefevre. Reese with the submission in regulation, a nasty Z-lock. Stephen with the submission in EBI overtime.
Our next match, Stephen Dana versus Reese Lefevre.
So again, Reese is in the all red, Stephen's in the black and brown. The winner of this will get Andrew DeGraff in our second semifinal.
So Steven looking to get collar ties here. Reese doing the same thing. Double collar ties here. So we did see Steven eventually pull guard in his first match here, so it'll be interesting to see if he elects to keep wrestling here or if he decides to pull. Steven doing a good job with his collar tie here. Reese looking like he might be thinking slide by. Nice arm drag attempt there. Steven doing a good job staying square. Double collar tie here. Almost had a little bit of an underhook there was Reese. Nice arm drag attempt here. It's just interesting to see how much more wrestling we see here. I'm going to predict that Steven's eventually going to pull guard off this, but he does look pretty keen on the wrestling here. So kind of interlocking hands there a little bit. Heavy collar tie. And Steven seems like he's not going to pull guard here. It seems like he really wants to get on top and be the passer here. Some more fighting from the feet here. So nothing very significant from the feet here so far. They're just kind of feeling each other out, getting collar ties, wrist controls. Nothing really significant.
If you are familiar with some other EBI shows, we do not have the get down rule. Some of the shows have, if there's a minute of no takedown from the feet, there's a get down where they force one guy up, one guy down. We're not good using the get down rule. So these guys are going to dictate when and how the fight goes to the floor on their own. Reese getting a little deeper on some of those underhooks and arm drags. Also looked like he might have been sitting up kind of almost in a roll through. We do not allow the flying scissors / jumping guard here, so you're not going to see like this kind of Masami jump, which is some of the angles that were at looked like there could be an entry.
Yeah. We did see something earlier though with, you can't kind of go for like rolling knee bars and stuff like that, but no jumping scissor takedowns.
Yeah, the way they were angled, it wouldn't have surprised me if Reese went for a rolling knee bar there.
Yeah. So this might be the most wrestling that we've seen, consistently without it getting to the floor so far.
Definitely. Now, I will say some of them other wrestling in more heavy matches we've seen had a lot more, guys really shooting. These guys are both being very conservative. Not that they're not working hard, but neither's really like opening up for that big shot or like.
Yeah, no real level changing. It seems to be more just kind of arm dragging and trying to snap down, and a lot of upper body types of throws. And
as we say, Reese gets a little ankle pick, and he immediately jumps on the leg. And now he goes double outside Ashi. He has the heel exposure. Let's see if he can get that fully.
Oh, it looks like it might be tight there. That might be tight.
Steven has the right arm attached to the hip. Can Reese get that finish? He's pushing the foot down on the hip to try to create that wedge.
Oh, but the back might be exposed. Oh, nope, the knee line's there. That might
still has the leg.
That looks like tight. That looks pretty tight. Oh, boy.
We heard something at our booth. It sounded kind of like a tear, but hard to tell.
He's trying to find the back, but he can't.
Steven
he's just eating this.
Tough. You can never tell how tight it is, but from our angle, it looks like a very tight heel hook. And now he's looking for his own counter leg lock, no longer trying to go for the back. Ooh, this is an interesting reset. We cannot see what Ref George sees, but no roll. And here comes the crew to scoot him back in. Good job not letting one ref to try to only do it.
Yep.
So here we go. Resetting in this leg lock shootout type position.
The heel's exposed.
Reese is connecting his hands.
Yeah, that's tight.
Belly down.
Oh, that's tight.
This looks bad. But Steven just looks calm.
He looks calm, but I mean, I don't care who you are. That does not feel good.
Last time we saw a guy this calm in a leg lock, it did not end well. Last Midwest Finishers. I hope it does not end the same.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember the last time I've seen someone in a heel hook.
Yeah, this has been quite a bit of ride time in the heel hook.
Jeez.
That is just.
There are those guys who just, unless it's breaking the leg, they just aren't feeling it in the knees and ankles. Now the question is, how much horsepower did Reese just put into trying to finish that heel hook?
A lot of horsepower, yeah, but can Steven even put weight on his right foot? It looks like he can. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Nice pull out. A little high step through by Steven. And now Reese going underneath for the legs again.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to hunt that same leg again. I would almost think you kind of have to call an audible at this point after. And that's about as good of a look on the heel hook as you're going to get.
Or do you just go for it again, knowing his leg might have taken some serious
damage? That as well. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if the straight ankle would provide any different.
Yeah. Reese is back on the leg. Double outside Ashi again.
Is he going to go heel hook or is it straight ankle? It'd be
right now it looks straight ankle, but it looks like he's looking to hunt that heel. He's controlling the knee line. Now, very nice heel-to-heel connection there by Reese, putting downward pressure on the hip. That's a really, really good way to control the double outside. Ashi did not allow that to slip through.
And here it is, a straight ankle. Yep, yes, really good awareness there from Reese.
Steven does a good job of coming up and controlling the head.
Yeah.
Heel to the floor and now stacking.
But Reese's right shin is the whole reason why he is okay right here.
Yeah.
That is stopping the leg drag, it's stopping his back from being exposed, it's stopping him from putting weight down. So Reese doing a good job. And we'll see if he pass. A lot of times those guys will like to pass it to 50-50, but I mean, he's got that. He's confident in that double outside. I mean, he's got.
Been actively playing that match. So.
Steven kind of putting his foot down here. Yep, and now the foot's elevated a little bit.
2 minutes left. This we've talked about this on many Midwest finishers before, but like with this late in the match, how much energy you're going to put into finishing.
Yeah, we're in that same position here where Steven's got that left wedge against that double outside. Oh, in the back. This is a decent look at the back, but that foot is just so caught up in that straight ankle here.
And this is a straight foot lock grip this time.
Yeah, and I agree with that because, I mean, he had about as good of an outside heel hook as you're going to get. I feel like straight ankle's the call here. But the back is a little exposed, but now finds that separation. He gets the shadow hook in, shortens the leg.
Yoki's not there.
Wow.
Steven clears. Now he's in a decent passing position.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think after, I mean, he threw the kitchen sink at him from that double outside position, and very well defended by Steven. And then now there's a minute left. None of it really matters unless there was damage on the foot, but...
And even in the overtime, if you're going to be in a position, rear naked choke in my door, the back position, if your legs bother you, may be the best one to be.
That's right. Well, you know, I mean, Reese obviously used a lot of his arms there, too. He's probably got a ton of lactic acid build up in his arms right now, so if he's going to elect to do spiderweb or the back, just holding him there, it's going to take a lot on the arms. So we'll see if that plays a factor.
No, we saw Steven win his first with a really, really nice overtime game.
Absolutely.
Obviously, Reese coming from New Wave, amazing EBI performances. So that is a gym that you'll never question their preparation or their experience in the EBI. But Steven looked really good in his one, so this will be an interesting matchup in overtime. As I say that, Reese is climbing for a submission.
He's climbing for a submission.
Wants to go to the overtime.
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean, Steven looked crisp on the back. So we'll see. And we're winding down here in the regulation. Oh, right to the mount. Oh my goodness. Diving mount, right? Yeah, maybe just Reese knew and opened the guard up, but
so here we go, Reese on the back. Steven had a quick escape in his first one against Randy Baker. There's a little consternation on what the position is. Both guys trying to get set. Reese gets the body triangle.
a lot of heavy breathing here.
Again, when that body triangle is locked in tight like that, that can really make it hard to breathe as the defender. This is not the best angle for Reese in terms of choking. His body triangle is keeping him safe for control, but this is not the best angle to finish the choke. Steven can start working away to his right. He's going to try to spiral that elbow down to get out of this position.
Yeah, and it's...
Generally speaking, Reese wants to get his right arm under the head and pull that ear to pull him back and reset the chest. Either way, he's going to build some ride time.
A lot of times, I don't think people talk enough about how much pressure it puts on your ribs as well when you try to turn out of body triangles like that. I mean, you turn hard one way out of a body triangle and you can easily pop a rib out. I've seen it plenty of times. So
really
it's a
good
ton of pressure.
By Reese there, able to get back to that chest-to-back connection. Steven had done a good job getting his shoulder free, and now reset. No matter what, this is going to be a long ride time for Reese.
Absolutely, and he's got the body triangle set in. The body triangle's on the top side. He's got the right arm under the armpit, so as we were talking about earlier, that's going to make it hard to get the back flat. Now we're going to the strong side. So body triangle, this is a much better spot for Steven to be in.
Arm triangle up.
Yeah.
I think we were seeing arm triangle up.
Yeah, but he just uses the arm triangle smartly to pull him back over to the back.
I agree with that decision. Sometimes arm triangle, unless that's your thing, I think the guy has a better chance to spiral out. Reese did a really good job. I think really smart tactically on that readjustment.
Absolutely, and even if you lose your hooks, right? If you got that body triangle locked in, a lot of times you could really find the back off of that grip alone.
And that's a full 2-minute ride for Reese. So let's see if Steven gets a submission. Now, again,
is that the first full ride of the day?
Ride, yeah. Now let's look at it. If you aren't as familiar with EBI, it's a 2-minute max ride time. If Steven submits him to this overtime, no matter how fast it is, the match is over. If there's not a submission, we'll go into our second one, and then the ride time builds up. So whoever holds the back first or who escapes fastest wins if there are no submissions during any of our overtime periods. But again, once this is set, if there's a submission from Steven in this bottom of the overtime, the match is over. Again, both guys are really playing about their position. Right away, Steven gets his body triangle. Reese trying to clear with his hip. It looks like Steven gets it set.
Yeah, he's got the body triangle on the bottom there, which is good for Reese.
And Reese has the hands more separated.
Yeah.
Steven going for the face crank.
And this is looking good for Reese here. Reese is looking like he's looking like he's getting close, but
Steven readjusts.
yeah, good readjustment. Both these guys clearly experienced on the EBI overtime rule set.
Reese gets the shoulders free. He's going to have to readjust just like Reese did in his overtime.
Yeah, but this is a really good position for Reese.
And there's the escape. So Reese has quite a ride time advantage. I guess at least 90 or around 90 seconds maybe. This is where the overtimes really start getting your grind. When you're in your second one, you've been on the back for a full 2. This is where the matches get real long and real tiring. Steven tries to explode to that side. Reese goes half back as opposed to body triangle. Do that explosion. We'll see if he can pull back in. After a full 2-minute ride, we'll see if there's a change in strategies from Steven. Belly's down and creates that knee base. Reese again with the half back.
And Reese has really been masterful in how he's controlling the back here. I mean, coming from a gym like New Wave, no surprise there. Danaher back control system in play here.
Steven's corner just wants him to turtle and keep spinning just to create that scramble. But I think Reese has too much pressure with his right arm on the neck to allow that spin to happen.
Yeah, and I mean, Steven also seems pretty cooked at this point too. A lot of energy used in this match.
Reese with a deep right arm grip. It's really holding Steven's shoulders and neck in place. Reese follows him up to that turtle. Now Steven just starts to explode through, but Reese gets him belly down and goes all the way back to the back and then locks in the body triangle. Resets it to the other side. So now this is going to be a position where I have a feeling we're going to see a full ride time if we don't see a submission here from Reese.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it'll be interesting to see if there's another full period of ride time. We might be seeing a spider web or something a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's oftentimes where you do see more spider web action. You're down on the ride time. You need a miracle. You go spider web.
If your opponent's already got 4 minutes of ride time, you're not going to win in the ride time battle at that point.
Yeah, and Reese's back escapes looked on point as well. So
we're about to get that full ride time again.
And that's time.
Now we'll say for Reese, he's had to use 4 minutes of arms and leg pummel. Obviously not nearly as tiring as defending, but as we're going into the semifinals and the finals, that is a lot of energy expended in this match. He still has this escape and then possibly a whole nother overtime. Steven with a good angle. Interesting hip positions from Steven there. Reese is going to get a quick escape.
He's out.
He does. That's what we're talking about, maybe switching to that spider web. Reese's game looks bad. It looked really solid from there.
I think you almost have to at that point because, I mean, this could easily be another full ride right here.
Yeah, if you're Steven, you got to figure out something here. And half back to start. Now this is a better spot.
Yeah, this is a much better spot.
Reese just following it and then go to the wall. Now pull them back to center in the same spot. was a lot of energy spinning out and trying to roll through from Steven.
Absolutely, but I mean, he kind of had to at that point. I mean, at this point, you almost have to think like, you know, ride time's not, you know, not going to be it. So
And he gets the
he gets to escape.
But again, ride time will not matter. He has almost 5 minutes of ride time.
Yeah.
There's no way he can win by ride time. So
We'll
will he
see.
go armbar?
Will
He go?
He's going to go back.
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised here. But
I mean, Reese has just shown exceptional back defense. I mean,
but sometimes that's just all you want. Back's your thing, and you're gonna go out. You know. We've seen some crazy comebacks in EBI overtime over the years at Midwest finishers, though, so you can never count an opponent out. All it takes is one slip of an arm or one wrong turn, and submission can happen instantly.
yeah, and this has been the same position. Reese did such a good job of escaping. It looks like his back is starting to come to the mat. He's starting to slide down. The elbow's free.
And there it is.
And he's out.
Reese Lefevre by ride time in overtime, and he will move on to meet his teammate, Andrew DeGraff, in our second semifinal. So our semifinals are set. Pedro Serrano against Lucas Jones and Andrew DeGraff versus Reese Lefevre. Before that, we're going to have a few super fights to give these competitors some time to breathe and relax. First up, we have RJ Serwin from 10th Planet Lombard and Kaylin Woods from Lake Effect. Later on tonight, later tonight, we will be seeing Emily Rosalind and Layla Watkins in our women's super fight. Two former Midwest finishers champions coming back for a super fight. That will be before our finals. But here we got RJ and Kaylin. RJ is in the white and multicolor, and Kaylin is in the black and red.
Aggressive collar ties right out the get-go.
Yep. Nice underhook by RJ. Push him back to the center. Front headlock, a little attack by RJ. Nice shot. Defended well by Kaylin. These guys want to use all of this mat space.
Yep. Very nice shot.
Interesting. Kaylin just kind of dove him and just rolled to his back from there. RJ now in the side control on top.
We were talking about the wrestling earlier where guys aren't committing on shots, and sometimes when you commit, you get low like that. I mean, if you,
That's what happens,
yeah, if you don't end up in a good scramble, you can end up in a terrible spot.
Yeah, you got to set it, generally speaking, you have to set it up with a little bit stronger hand fighting, get your opponent stepping, get him stepping, pulling. Just to shoot at distance like that is very hard against a tough opponent.
Yeah.
RJ may get the choke early.
Back.
Belly down on the back, right arm under the chin. This is a bad spot to be in. I think it's going to be in, and he gets the submission. RJ Serwin with the rear naked choke.
The hometown crowd going nuts. Very nice performance. And unfortunately, all got off with a bad shot.
We're going to have another super fight coming up. We have Scott Lang against Timothy Ferguson. Timothy from 10th Planet Greenville. We saw Sean Pearson, and we'll see Manny Vasquez coming back again from 10th Planet Greenville. Another match right away. Start with heavy collar ties.
Ooh, nice foot sweep attempt. Yeah, that was nice.
Nice snatch single leg, too.
Yeah, picks up the single.
Beautiful wrestling from Scott. That's Timothy on his back. Timothy inverts through. We don't have a team name from Scott, but I think his rash mark, he might be a Sleeping Bear Jiu-Jitsu. Jared Fettke's fights out of. Really nice pass.
Yeah, nice pass attempt, yeah. Timothy doing a good job composing his guard.
Jumping triangle. Beautiful by Scott. He gets the arm. Can he finish it? Looks like Timothy's going to get out.
That could have been potentially a contender.
I still think that buggy choke.
Yeah, the buggy choke is
hard to beat for someone that, especially.
Yeah, but if he would have finished it,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's.
I think when it comes into who you're submitting to, submitting a guy as tough as David Garcia with that buggy choke.
True, that's true as well.
You know, that's a big time win for Lucas. That's always one of the decisions you make when you make a very kind of risky play like jumping for that triangle armbar. This sometimes can happen where now you go from being a top dominant position to be the bottom of side control. And now getting his back exposed.
Oh, another buggy attempt.
Seen another buggy? Or is he going for an arm lock from the bottom side?
It's hard to see from where we're at.
I don't think he's got the angle, but it's making Timothy move different. Is he going to roll him through all the way? He does. And now he's going for that
now he's going straight for that arm lock.
Americana with the legs.
Oh my gosh.
Now Timothy comes out back door. Fun exchange.
Ended up in that scarf.
Yeah.
That was very interesting. So bottom side like scarf. Very interesting.
Yeah. Scott is bringing some very interesting jiu-jitsu to that today.
I can't remember. I don't know if I've seen a scramble quite like that one in a while, but
yeah, that was a very unique one.
And so now we find ourselves in very common position, knee shield half guard.
It's almost too common with all this crazy stuff we've seen.
Yeah, I know.
We need to see something goofy happen from here.
And after all that movement, maybe both competitors maybe taking a quick little breather here, trying to find a second wind.
Scott now backs out and he gets some space. The first time he jumped for a triangle, so we'll see if he opts to pass from this position or if he's going to go for something. Jumps past
beautiful
the guard.
pass, and that's the second time he's hit that.
Yeah.
And
now Scott with a nice combat base to keep that leg open, and now he's going to come forward with that smash pressure.
yeah, he's going to start to staple the knee. Timothy's going to want to open up that
Maybe
knee.
going for the foot. He's looking for
Yeah,
the foot.
the
He
foot.
does.
Foot's up.
Interesting. He's not reaping hard to bring Timothy down.
Yeah, Timothy.
Oh, he goes belly down.
Oh, that's belly down. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight.
Ooh, the foot slips.
Foot does slip.
Now he's on his own straight foot lock on the other side. It could change into a heel hook real quick.
Oh, and it's looked like it might have been tight for a minute. Really nice exchange there. Yeah. That was a very, very tight belly down straight ankle from Scott there.
Yeah, it looked like his knees were a little shallow. If they were a little wider, he might have been able to keep up. Another little funky scramble there.
I've seen a lot of funky scrambles. That's part of the big fun of the no-gi jiu-jitsu scene is you just see all sorts of different movements.
Well, especially like in sub-only where you're not worried about giving up that
Absolutely.
points. You can
Yeah.
go for things that you would never really want to do in an ADCC or IBJJF rule set.
That's right. Oh, that shoulder crunch. Let's see if he gets that triangle. Oh, good awareness from Scott to pull the arm out.
Now, last time I was here, he sat back for the leg. Let's see if he uses the pass or maybe he goes toe.
I
It
bet
looks
you
like he's
he-
thinking toe hold.
He might be thinking toe, but it looks like he's just trying to underhook the leg,
Yeah, now
and then when he falls back, maybe building it up to the shoulder.
I'm liking the diversity in Scott's game. Diving passes.
Like diving, he's got the Kimura.
He uses that to try to pass. Very unique. And now again, he's looking back to a knee shield. Ferguson.
That's a tight straight ankle.
Timothy's
Ooh, foot slips, foot slips. Ooh, that's a tight straight ankle. That's tight. That's tight. There's a tap.
Submission. Timothy Ferguson with the footlock.
Very nice straight ankle lock. Finish. Belly down.
Kind of a match where he was kind of trailing the whole match.
Yeah,
But
for
staying
sure.
strong and staying tough, and then he found his opening and took it. And now we're going to be heading back to our men's 155-pound bracket.
Semi-final match in our 155-pound bracket between Pedro Serrano and Lucas Jones.
So we got Pedro Serrano, Lucas Jones. Both have had 2 submissions. Both have looked really, really strong.
I'm excited for this one.
This is a fun one. You know, Lucas definitely has shown a really diverse game. Pedro, once he kind of gotten on top the first 2 matches, he just kind of smashed through.
Absolutely.
We'll see what he can do to Lucas.
And Lucas really has that sort of like Andrew Tackett kind of feel to him, where he just side to side moving, scrambling, seems to be good from everywhere, good wrestling. Yeah.
And again, anytime you see a guy win by buggy choke against a really high-level opponent, you basically can expect anything.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you didn't know who he was before, you definitely will after watching this event.
I think, you know, this is interesting. Pedro got a kind of a quick, easy wrestle up. And now this is where Pedro has just dominated the last 2 matches. Getting to a dominant position and cooking. Now he gets in on the armbar triangle.
Yeah, the armbar triangle's in. This is already a very, very dangerous spot.
Let's see if Lucas can clear his back.
Hey,
Hitchhike out,
beautiful
now into the triangle.
hitchhike. Very nice. Wow. Out of a very dangerous spot there.
I was about to say, I would not want Pedro on top, and as soon as he got on top, he almost had a submission.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to keep him down. I'm trying to keep pressure on him and not let him play. Lucas sits on the foot. Pedro just does not even respond.
Yeah. I mean, Pedro is cool as a cucumber out there. I haven't really seen much of a reaction, overreaction per se to anything. Diving head and arm.
Double under position.
Yeah.
Again, very good way to attack.
Lucas just doesn't care who you are. He just is non-stop moving, non-stop threatening stuff.
And so you have to be. If you respect your opponent too much, that can be a problem. Now, Lucas, interestingly, sits back. And again, not that he does not have a good guard, but Pedro has been dominant on top when he gets into position. So this could be a very, very drastic change of events if Pedro can get kind of that chest-to-chest position where he's ridden his last 2 opponents into submissions.
And Pedro just kind of seemingly not really caring what kind of guard he's playing. He just finds...
And there's the pass to the back.
Yeah, pass to the back straight away.
Again, choosing to allow Pedro on top is a dangerous choice.
It is.
Now the bi triangle is set.
Ooh, and it looks like the choke might be settled in here.
Lucas' hand fights to get free, but now it's back in.
That's across the face.
He had the face crank last match. He may just go for the same thing again.
Lucas looks like the kind of guy that's not going to give up easily, though, for sure.
There's still a lot of time in this match. So Lucas has to get out of the zone. There's not going to be any time to escape. Lucas is trying to turn all the way over, grabbing Pedro's head to try to create space, but Pedro does a good job readjusting. doing a good job hand fighting, trying to move his hips, but Pedro's back control is just very, very solid. He's not getting any angle to escape. Now Lucas was reaching out of his feet. We may get a mount, and we do. Can he explode out? He does. He gets the single leg X.
Yeah, single leg X.
Now he has a heel exposure.
Going
Now
straight
Pedro
for the
looking
back
for the
again.
back, yeah, if I'm Lucas, I want to get back on top.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no. And Pedro, like, he just seems like he just kind of, like, is just rolling with the punches from the bottom to the top, just kind of putting his weight forward.
Yep.
And just kind of surfing the position.
Oh, buggy again.
And Pedro's like,
Yeah, it's
I'll
hard
give
to
up.
catch this
Yeah, for sure.
You know, as soon as you feel that, you're respecting it much more this time.
Yeah, Lucas really trying to
And on the
find.
foot.
Yeah, he's on that foot.
That's not a bad angle. I mean, he has a good bite on that foot. Pedro did not even think about giving
Yeah,
up
I mean,
position for it.
ooh, really nice windshield wipering of the legs there. Deep into a knee slide.
We're halfway through. This match is kind of, Lucas is throwing submissions up as Pedro tries to control position, and so far the positional dominance has been winning over the submission attempts.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there was a nasty face crank though that Pedro did
Yeah,
have.
sure.
I mean, that was definitely very, very tight. But Lucas seems very tough. Tough, young, hungry kid.
Oh, bear trap angle on the foot.
Yeah, a little bear trap action, but I mean, Pedro's just so flexible. He's got ankle flexibility. He's got knee flexibility. I mean, I don't think a bear trap's really gonna. I mean, it may give Lucas a second to breathe, but as I say that, Pedro just kind of finds the top position, and Lucas smartly gets up.
Yeah, I would stay up.
Yeah. So Pedro kind of inverting through, playing sort of a tornado guard.
Jumps in on the leg.
And jumping on a leg.
Yeah, if I was Lucas's coaches, I'm like, stay on top. Do not concede the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to spin it.
Nice little back exposure. Pedro doing a really good job not letting his back get taken in that exchange.
Ooh, front headlock.
Right on the head. This is a good bite on the neck.
And Lucas started sitting back straight away. This must be a tight.
Lucas looks like he's going to be able to create that angle. Look at
Yeah.
how he does. But now he's
Ooh,
mounted
mount
with
position.
the arm isolated. This is where
This
Pedro
is-
has been done his best work all day.
Yep. Pedro, this has been Pedro's home base.
Good framing by Lucas to get the arms back in. Here comes an arm lock attempt. And Lucas is able to explode out.
Explodes out right to double underpassing. Lucas trying to find his way to the top.
Exposes
Ooh, back
his
is
back.
exposed. Inverting through.
Gets back to his guard. Shoulder crunch option attack from Lucas. Oh,
Hey,
buggy.
oh, buggy's in. Oh my goodness.
It's tight. This is tight.
Oh my goodness.
Lucas gives us a nod at the commentary booth. This is a tight position. He got David Garcia with this. There's time. There's 2 minutes left, and he has this in. This is
Oh,
going to be a
it's
submission.
tight.
This is going to be a submission, I think. I think he's going to sub him.
Keep it, come up. Try to come up with it.
And he gets it. What a submission again from Lucas. Into the finals with 2 buggy chokes. I think that is the sub of the night now.
Yeah, that's the new sub of the night.
Unbelievable from Lucas Jones.
Wow.
He needs a buggy choke DVD coming up. And now we have a new wave battle. Reese Lefevre
Wow.
and Andrew DeGraff. Two of the best in the world coming up one-on-one. The winner will get the Buggy Choke Master Lucas Jones in the finals.
Wow.
Remember Lucas Jones' name. That
Yeah,
is-
absolutely. I'll never forget that name after. Wow. So Buggy choking two of the favorites in the whole bracket,
Two of the toughest
back
guys.
to back for sure. Wow.
So here we go. So two teammates who train together regularly and know each other probably as well as anybody. Very interesting to see what the strategy is here. We got rolling knee bar attempt from Andrew, and he decides to sit. Reese did so much wrestling work in his last fight, wanting to be on top. It makes sense that Andrew would pull with him. Reese with a nice angle on that leg. That might be tight. Has a nice knee bar. Andrew does a good job clearing the knee line, getting back to a neutral position.
And it's interesting, you know, you're on the plane, probably traveling with your buddy who you end up meeting in the semifinals of the event that you're both flying to.
Yeah, both trying to win that.
A little bit of a funny dynamic.
Especially because, you know, two guys who are younger, both the same size in the room, you know they're training together.
Oh, for sure, for sure. These guys
Not
have
just
to
two
be
guys
training
who
partners.
happen to be on the
Yeah.
same team.
Yep.
Two guys who are probably every day are rolling and drilling. And
Yep. But they knew going once
Yeah.
the bracket was released, they knew it was a possibility.
Yeah, of course.
Very strong possibility.
Andrew with that nice 50-50. He's got the leg wrap. So he's slightly ahead in this position. Reese now going to separate his feet as well. Reese feeds it across.
And it's hard to. Looks like there might be a tight bite there. Looking for a little corkscrew.
Now we're going to reset here. It resets this time.
Ooh, sitting straight in. Double outside Ashi. Oh, finds the outside heel hook. That's tight. Forcing Andrew to turn. Yeah, that's tight. That was a real good look on an outside heel hook. Andrew clears the knee line, but that was a strong attack. But
They reset in the center.
spinning through, kicked him straight in the face.
That's teammates for you.
Yeah. And faking a flying triangle. A little bit of showmanship here. Oh.
Nice position to head and arm.
Wow, these are some elite scrambles.
Yeah.
I mean, both these guys have been looking so on point all day.
It's funny knowing one of these guys is going to fight Lucas in the finals. It's very contrasting.
It's very contrasting, yep.
You know, whoever wins out of this battle is a much more slow, methodical,
That's right.
technical, just kind of textbook jiu-jitsu. Lucas with two buggy chokes, wrestling scrambles, diving for positions, you know.
Oh, and this is
Very nice position by Reese.
that's a good look. Good look on an anaconda here. Is he gonna sit through like Andrew was doing in his previous match? We'll see if he sits through and tries to roll him from here. And he sits back.
It's a nice fight for Reese, but Andrew does a good job coming through again.
Andrew just follows it through. And it's all the battle of Andrew's right elbow. That's the fight right here. Andrew doing a good job keeping that elbow nice and wide. And Reese trying to use his left forearm to try to stuff that right elbow into the pocket to cinch the space between the neck and the shoulder. Andrew dropping to a hip, almost inviting him to take the back. And when Reese tries to bite on the back, Andrew's going to try to Granby out. And he rolls through for the anaconda. And that roll through created a good exposure on the back. He's hooking the leg here. This is a lot of pressure on the hip.
Now he has that inside arm.
Yep. And the back is being taken. Yeah, but also really good defense here by Andrew.
Definitely. Being smart.
Yeah.
One of the things we've seen with Andrew over the years is he's been caught in some tough positions in regulation, and he's been able to weather the storm and kind of get out.
I mean, you know, he was like that even before training at New Wave, and now we're training all the guys at New Wave. You know his defense is on point. He doesn't have a choice.
No. It's one thing you hear Gordon, a lot of the New Wave guys preach is training in bad positions, starting in bad positions, starting in triangles, letting people attack you so you get comfortable in the uncomfortable. And that definitely shows through.
That's right.
Nice roll through. Now Andrew's on the leg. Reese rolls wide to clear the knee line and get back to a neutral spot. They just, on their own reset, almost like they're in a training room. They knew they were going to get too close to the edge. Reese just marching into Andrew's guard. Andrew inverts through a little kiss of the dragon, looking for the legs. Reese jumps in on the leg on his own.
Wow.
Good deep reap into the heel hook, but Andrew clears the knee line, and now he rolls through
Rolling
for,
through for his own back exposure. Wow.
Nice transition by Andrew to Graf.
And he caught Reese lacking for just a moment there.
And he gets the back.
Now Andrew gets on the back, and I was just opening my mouth to say that Reese looked like he's been getting the benefit of the exchanges as Andrew sits for the back, but
And then Reese immediately out and goes right back into the legs.
And we saw Reese's back defense in those EBI overtime periods too. I mean, his defense looked incredibly on point, so no surprise that he was able to freely escape there. And
he sits to his own leg.
He sits to his own leg, but gives up the saddle.
Yeah.
And
now, what'll be interesting is as this match goes later, if we get to an overtime, I would imagine that these two specifically have trained EBI positions with each other a lot.
oh, for sure.
So they probably know exactly where the strengths and the weaknesses are, specifically in this position of EBI overtime. So we'll see, who opts if there's a spider web, because someone thinks spider web's better if they both go back. When you know what your training partner strategy is from the specific position. Similar to these leg shootouts, they both know where each other's strong, what the kind of their clinical approach to this is.
Ooh, knee bar.
Now it's the foot.
Using it right away to pass.
Resets over again.
Man, these have been some strong attacks from Reese. But Andrew's defense, I mean, is just on par and rolling through to the back again.
Reese hip to it this time, does not give that back exposure.
So, 2-minute drill here, as someone would like to call it.
Andrew gets in a single leg. Reese counters, goes double outside Ashi.
Yeah, double outside Ashi here.
For the heel.
Yeah, so now that the leg is elevated, now the leg drag isn't an option. So the leg being on the shoulder here kills the ability for Andrew to put his weight down on that leg and be able to leg drag. Also kills the idea of the back exposure.
It also kills the idea of the leg, the heel hook until he pummels the arm, and now he's going to go for that pummel.
Yep. Oh, but now passing to 50-50. And now that we're in the 50-50 position, we're seeing Reese hip to the inside, trying to hunt that 80-20. Andrew looking for potentially the toe hold on the far leg. And now Reese is going for the toe hold. Gets the leg exposed.
And he gets the submission.
The tap.
Andrew with a tight footlock to get the tap. Again,
The toe hold,
even though their teammates, there was no playing for keeps there. Andrew Graf with the submission over his teammate Reese Lefebvre, and he will meet Lucas Jones in our finals coming up in just a bit. To give both athletes a little time, we're going to have 3 super fights. need you to graph. 3 submissions. Lucas Jones, 3 submissions.
So once we get the mats kind of mopped up here, as Jeff was alluding to, we are going to be moving into some super fights. Our first super fight that we're going to be seeing here is going to be Greg Goebel out of Knights Grappling going up against Travis Henn from 10th Planet St. Paul. And then soon after that, the next super fight after that will be Manny Vasquez out of 10th Planet Greenville going up against Matthew Ray out of Rosano Academy BJJ. And then our main event super fight of the night is going to be Emily Roslin out of AOJ going up against Layla Watkins out of Watkins Wrecking Crew.
And that is a champion against champion matchup. Emily and Layla are both the Midwest Finishers champs of our brackets before, so they're having a real big-time super fight to kind of see who is the queen of that division. Both have looked very impressive in their performances at Midwest Finishers over the years.
So we are just getting the mats mopped up here, so just give us a few moments.
We got our first and only heavyweight matchup
Yeah.
today. We got some big boys about to take the mat.
Yep, absolutely.
Coming from the 155, this is going to be a different look.
These guys are probably at least 240, probably.
Travis Henn coming in. He is a Midwest finisher that we've seen him compete a lot over in the Midwest. For a big dude, watched for a lot of knee bars, footlocks. Very complete game. He was a big guy. Sometimes they don't get in the legs.
Here we go.
Between Greg Goebel and Travis Henn.
So we got Travis in the white rash guard, and we have Greg in the gray. And right away, some heavy, aggressive collar ties.
Yeah, not as familiar with Greg, but that's a
Wow,
big movement for
holy cow, that was fast.
Travis is a good competitor. Watch for the leg. I told you, Travis is very good leg locks for heavyweight.
That looks like it's going to be tight. Ooh, that's a lot of horsepower.
Greg's able to get some knee line free.
Oh, the knee line's back in. Knee line's back in. Double outside
Double outside.
Ashi. Here's the heel hook. This looks tight.
Good transition to a heel hook or a knee bar. Travis is very good for it.
Ooh, that looks tight. Oh, boy.
Big boy.
Yep, that's, there's the tap.
As expected, Travis had his very strong leg locks, and he gets the heel hook from the double outside Ashi. Fun match from these two guys. Again, they did not move like heavyweights. Beautiful performance.
That shot from Greg, that was quick.
Big moves, man.
That was like that was shooting quicker than the 55ers.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, we see all the time, if you shoot, that's why a lot of times guys play conservative. They're a little bit hesitant because you can end up in a bad spot off a bad shot.
Now we got Manny Vasquez against Matthew Ray. Again, Manny is a Midwest Finishers champ in the past. Black belt under Omar Ocasio, the owner of 10th Planet Lombard. Now he's moved down to his own gym, 10th Planet Greenville. So he's even though he's from 10th Planet Greenville, he's a hometown favorite. I'm going against Matthew Ray from Rosano Academy.
Our next match, Matthew Ray versus Manny Vasquez.
Manny Vasquez, really good, well-rounded grappler. I would say he's probably most well-known for his neckties and his head and arm game. Very good darces. His darce in particular is exceptional.
Really good body lock passing.
Yeah,
Pressure from
body lock pressure. Yep,
top
absolutely.
MMA fighter. When he was younger, before, he was more competitive, focused on grappling. He has some wins over some real elite competition over the years. Manny's a real world-class black belt. Now Matthew's a real tough black belt of his own. This is going to be a tough match. This is where Manny is the best. Flat and half, body lock positions.
Yeah, that is. I mean, you don't see a lot of. I mean, he's got very long limbs for his weight class, and so he really knows how to use that and really lock in on the hips.
Yeah, for the 135, 145, 10-pounders, like Manny's one of the toughest on top. He's so strong. He's so technical from there. But again, Matthew was in underneath Manny on one of Manny's best positions. He was able to recover guard very easily and did a really good job not panicking there. Active looking for a little guillotine tap with the arm in. It's going to be hard to do this to someone like Manny who has such good pressure on the top, but he may be using it to set something up like a hip bump or just try to get a reaction to try to create some space against Manny. Really good posture position right now, and Manny steps over.
And watch for his darce here. I mean, he has he's got an exceptional darce.
He's already putting heavy pressure on that head.
Yeah.
He's going to use it to pass if he does not get the choke.
Yeah, look at that. There it is. The darce is locked in.
This is going to be set.
Yeah, darce is locked, and this is going to be tight. This is going to be really tight. I mean, he has one of the best darces.
I think he's going to get the
That is the
he
tab.
does. Manny Vasquez with the submission. That's the game Manny is really, really good at. When you deal with that pressure, it's hard to stop. Submission for Manny Vasquez. So that brings us to our main event super fight. Battle of the Midwest Finishers Champs. Emily and Layla. Emily is a black belt, Layla's a brown belt. These are going to be two tough ladies. Now we're going to announce our submission of the night after this match before finals, and unless something crazy happens, I think Lucas Jones is going to take the submission of the night. But with these two tough ladies, we are not for sure yet. Emily's in the black rash guard with the white shorts. Layla is in the brown and white rash guard with the black leggings. Double guard pull, both sitting right away. Layla has very, very dangerous leg lock attacks. I believe Layla is still a teenager, maybe 18 years old, 17 years old.
Yep.
Has a lot of that Watkins wrecking her team has.
This
Emily
is a
gets nice
real.
double outside Ashy straight foot lock fight.
Yep. Oh, she's over the knee.
This is a tight position. She may transition into a deeper grip. Now Layla's unweaving the
Ooh,
legs.
corkscrew. Corkscrew on the top foot. Layla shakes her head, no.
Now she's going in on a leg attack of her own. The
Yep.
line is not set yet.
Looks like that 80-20 might be set here. And these girls have very, very good flexibility.
Both are just savages. These are not girls who are going to tap early, and these are girls who do not want them on your legs. Emily with a nice bite on the heel.
Oh, boy, that's a tight.
Layla slides free, but the leg is still in a bad position.
Really good defense here by Layla.
Yep. She's in on her own attacks.
Oh, pulling it into the 50-50 here.
So this reminds me of our first match in the men's bracket with Pedro and Giovanni, where they just both were attacking leg locks until one just decided they needed to come up and pass. I wonder if we're going to see something similar in this match. Emily's been getting the deeper and kind of stronger bites in this exchange to start. She's getting more exposures, but Layla's doing a good job at defending, attacking her own. She doesn't really seem concerned, even though her heel and her ankle have been in jeopardy multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a part of that really good ankle flexibility, good mobility. Ooh,
She's pulling.
there's a knee bar. That's tight. That's a tight. Oh, my
Now
goodness.
she's in on the heel.
That was a very tight knee bar. Was that a Mikey lock? Oh.
There were a lot of good leg exchanges so far, but that was
I think the knee bar, man, that was
tight. That was very tight. And neither of these girls are going to tap early or going to
Yeah.
tap unless it's locked.
fully locked knee bar, it's not easy to escape out of either, you know. But Emily,
Bite on the knee.
yeah, I think Emily might think twice now about playing legs with Layla. I mean, that was,
Layla still has that leg
yeah,
in
she
jeopardy.
still has that leg in jeopardy for
Pull
sure.
that knee line a little deeper.
And I think Emily right now is thinking more back, trying to find a back exposure off these leg exchanges.
Now Layla decides to come up and pass. Wing Chun Rao drag right there, clearing that arm. Heavy hip pressure. Emily doing a good job of trying to keep those frames and knee shields in, keep Layla's pressure back. Emily sits through.
Yeah, she tried to sit through to that Kimura, but Emily doing a good job.
Back into some leg exchanges.
Ooh, inside heel
Layla
hook.
inside heel hook. Emily did a good job of hiding the heel in that
Wow.
exchange. Now Layla's going to try to pull back in on the other leg.
Ooh,
Layla's
toe
doing a
hold.
really good job going side to side, attacking
Yeah,
both
for
legs in
sure.
these positions. That being tunnel focused on one.
And now Layla gets up and starts passing, thinking,
I really like the up and down Layla legs, then come to passing, then back to legs.
absolutely.
That's a much harder thing to deal with than if you're only seeing legs or only seeing passing.
Does she have the knee line for the saddle? I can't see. Looks like she might.
It looks like she does.
Yeah.
Emily has a good angle to keep her knees closed, but Layla has a good bite on that knee. She needs to clear.
It looks like Layla might be using this as more of like a reverse half guard, trying to pass here rather than,
That could very well be the case.
yeah. Emily's trying to find a back exposure here.
Pulls up.
And now Layla's probably going to now sit into the saddle.
And now that her left arm is under the knee.
Yeah. But for her to get a good saddle, she has to turn back into her. But this is a really good spot here for Layla.
Yeah. Emily does have a good triangle. It's going to be a battle to open her feet. She's
Yeah.
gonna have to, Layla's going to have to use her left foot to elevate the foot and open it, which is what she's trying to do. Now she's put some nice elbow pressure.
Now she's able to turn in to get that saddle. Yep. And it's interesting. It's almost like she's thinking more knee bar than really entering the
I
saddle.
think that's the smart thing is that at this weight class, a lot of these girls have such flexible ankles that
Yeah.
knee is a more kind of secure spot to where
Sure.
no one has that flexible of a knee.
Yeah.
The ankle
And
flexibility.
here we go.
Now she's re-entering.
Oh, so she's got the saddle in. I think they call this something like the axe saddle. She's got the saddle in with the other foot,
Emily doing a good job not letting that settle.
and it's hard to see from our angle. It looks like Emily's trying to maybe honey stick counter. And I think
they're tied up in a position.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Who's winning this knee line battle.
it looks like the knee line's free.
Now, instantly, interesting. Emily did not opt to come up. Now, Layla has a
high-
very good close guard arm.
Yeah.
So this is a position she's very, very tough from. Emily, obviously being a high-level black belt, there's nothing from here she hasn't seen. Layla looks to be playing a little mean.
Ooh.
She's pushing and framing hard. She's not settling. She wants that sub. So here we go, back to the center. We're going to restart in Layla's close guard. Framing that face hard to get their reaction. She wants Emily to give her that arm. Now she's a little Kimura action. Could be a hip bump.
Emily doing a good job keeping her hips and her chest low.
Now climbing the leg up.
Yeah, she's been hinting at that omoplata kind of rubber guard. Oh, there we go. Gogo plata.
Gogo Plata.
Yeah, that go-go might be locked in here. And she's going for sub of the night potential. I mean, it's going to be tough to time.
I don't know if this beats a buggy.
Yeah, I don't
Or
know.
the two buggies, but
True.
this could be it. Emily doesn't. She looks like she's slightly worried, but not.
Yeah, so it turns into an omoplata here. She's likely going to use it to get to 50-50 on the backside leg.
She does. Ayla is just attacking constantly.
Yeah, constantly attacking, for sure.
And Layla's always been a very aggressive grappler in these Midwest finishers. But again, now that she didn't have to fight a bracket, she's just doing super fight. She's just like going nonstop.
Yeah, just going nonstop for sure. And she doesn't seem like she's slowing down at all. If anything, she's warmed up. She seems like she's really feeling it.
But as good as she's been attacking, Emily's
backside,
doing a great job of defending, never getting too deep, never getting too out of position.
She had a really tight saddle there again, but I think Layla is really thinking maybe back take here, like trying to get on top, hunt, pass.
She may be trying to like create a reaction from Emily to get an opening to like take that back or get to a dominant position she wants. But again, that's where a very, very high level black belt like Emily is not giving her anything cheap or that's not really there.
Toe. She got to be careful if she goes for this toe hold, though, because if you go for the toe hold, you do expose your back. Yep. Oh, wow.
Slides up.
Yeah, tried to mount, but ends up giving her foot in the process. Layla trying to set up a counter. Looks like she's trying to get the counter reap here. Going for another corkscrew, maybe. And now, Layla in the 80-20 here. She might find herself an inside heel hook here. Ooh.
She has the foot wrapped.
Yeah.
She uses it to come up.
Wow, and using it to almost pass.
Fun exchange there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Emily might come on top for the first time really in this match. You get right into an armbar.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and there's a lot of separation here.
She's gonna get belly down.
Yeah, this is a real tight position here. Yeah, oh boy.
Emily does a good job trying to return. That submission might be there. And she gets the submission. Layla Watkins with the armbar to take the win in this main event super fight.
Wow.
Really impressive performance from Layla Watkins.
That lived up to the hype of the main event for sure. Yeah. Really, really good match.
Super aggressive.
And Omar out, giving her the prize, giving her the bling, the chain. And we've got our main event winner by submission, Layla Watkins.
Now again, even though that was an awesome submission, as we're going to call our submission the night before our men's finals, I think it has to go to Lucas Jones. He's going to get the $100 bonus from hand wraps. You can give it to either buggy choke. Maybe it's $50 for each buggy choke because those two are just definitely the subs of the night. That being said, we have Andrew DeGraff, New Wave Jiu-Jitsu against Lucas Jones, Matt Factory, fighting for our Midwest Finishers 155-pound championship. Andrew is the favorite coming in. Lucas, the dark horse, taking out 2 elite black belts to get here.
The next match is our championship match between Andrew DeGraff and Lucas Jones.
So Lucas gets another buggy choke here. I think I'll be speechless, just utterly speechless. But with that being said, Lucas definitely a dark horse coming into this tournament, going up against Andrew DeGraff, who is, I would say, probably the #1 seed to make it to the final for sure, by far. So right away we get Andrew opting to play the guard position, and Lucas just bringing it forward like he's done all day, just relentless.
Now, as we mentioned in the semifinal between Reese and Andrew, going in, there was going to be a very different kind of style and pacing approach from Lucas to whoever he got in the finals. Lucas is, like you mentioned earlier, kind of almost had that Tackett Brothers style.
That's right.
Constant attacking, in and out, diving, jumping, wrestling.
Just seems to have an endless gas tank as well.
It'll be interesting to see how he approaches Andrew, who is so technical and tries not to make any mistakes. He just does everything kind of by the book.
Troy bar.
Andrew pulls that elbow in. Has a good connection with his left heel. He's going to use this to roll / attack the arm at the same time.
And Andrew's going to look to get that left leg fed all the way through.
And he uses it to come on top.
And this Lucas is doing a good job, kind of complicated. Oh, Tarika Plata here.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a Tarika.
Plata, this could be it.
Oh boy, that could be tight. Tarika Plata, here we go.
His wrist is deep. And there's the submission.
snap.
Tarika Plata from Andrew DeGraff. Beautiful submission to take the crown.
Wow.
All submissions.
3-division champ, right? 135 champ,
believe so.
145, and now 155.
Andrew
He's too
DeGraff
good.
with
He's
the
too good.
submission. Great performance by Lucas Jones. Lucas did win submission of the night, so he will get the $100 cash prize for that. And Andrew DeGraff takes home our crown. Amazing performance from both these guys. You're going to be hearing both from all time. What an event. Again, as always, tons of submissions. We're going to have new names you're going to be hearing from on the bigger shows coming. We'll see you guys in 2025.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time in 2025. I'm Blake Classman here with Jeff Serafin. Thanks for tuning in.